Okay, I think I'm live. Oh, there we go. There goes Twitch. Where do I go to see the chat on there? I should be live on YouTube as well. Yep. I just need to remember where I can go to see. Where I can go to see the comments, although they should be. I don't see any comments yet. It might be a little early. Let's see what's going on here. View on YouTube, is that what I want? Oh, I see a couple. I see some chat now. Oops, I gotta mute it. Ah. Hi Sticks, hi Yoshi. Okay, so I got YouTube going here. Pop out the chat. I guess that's what I want to do. Where have I been? Oh God, I don't know. Stuff just kept coming up. Now I need to figure out how to... Oh, there we go. There's the Twitch chat. Okay, Sticks, just stick to one chat, okay? I don't want to... I think I'll just keep that open like that, maybe. You guys can't see what I'm doing. I'm just trying to set up the chat in such a way that I can see both of them. Hi, Jackie. Oh, let me just make sure it's coming up in the... It is. Okay. Hi, Jackie. I think I already said that. Okay, folks, let's drink an entire 6-pack of Wicked Strength Lager and get completely pished. Or we could just watch Dina's Red Dwarf videos. Both are good. Or you could get pished while watching my videos. Been a few weeks. Yeah, I know. I don't even really remember exactly. I know one week, I know the first week I meant to stream, I was going to continue playing Silent Hill 3, but then I couldn't get the, what do you call it? Elgato. I couldn't get the Elgato to work, and so I was just like, I can't think of anything else to stream, so I put it off, and then I can't remember. I feel like something happened last week where I couldn't stream, or I don't remember why it's been so long, but yeah. Hi, Stooges fan. Hi, JJ Goodman. This is the first stream I'm watching of yours. Love the Red Dwarf content. Thank you. Rimmer Salute. Hi, Awesome Productions. Hi, St. Clinton. Hi, Flash. I feel like there's different people than usual in here, or some people that aren't. Will there be a holiday special? No, I wish. I would like to do a thing where I make a series of videos about all my favorite Christmas movies, but it would take a lot of effort, and I haven't had time yet. I'd have to get started really early, maybe next year. But if I did get pished, I'd probably see 3 screens, and I'd be like, 3D splendid. Please be nice to us, copyright. Yeah, I flipped the image, so I know it doesn't look as good, but I mean, you guys, presumably you guys have seen all these videos anyway. He doesn't drink because he's 2D, but I wouldn't mind a glass. There are many Christmas horror movies. That's true. I wasn't thinking of just horror movies, though. I've been kicking around the idea of maybe branching out and doing covering some movies that aren't horror movies. So we'll see, though. That's something I talked about on Twitter a while back. Do I have a favorite episode of Red Dwarf? I mean, if forced to pick, Gunmen of the Apocalypse. Okay, I'm all caught up on chat. Let's go ahead and get started. I'm probably going to go for... I could go for as much as 3 hours. I don't know if I'll go that whole time. Maybe I'll go for 2.5. Let's see how many of these videos we can get through. Most of them are pretty short. Most of them are under 10 minutes. A few are over 10 minutes, but they're all kind of 10 minutes on average, I think. So what is it? Hi, Shadow. We've got Shadow and Tails in the chat. What's this about you liking sexy tiger dancers in Zootopia? I just thought they were funny, okay? I watched Zootopia recently. Now everyone thinks I'm a furry. 2 hours of Red Dwarf is an evening well spent. Okay, let's start up here. I guess the volume should be good from the last time, but let me know if it's not. Oh. Turn it down a little bit on my end. The Russian tiger from Madagascar 3. I don't think I remember that. Has Cat always been your favorite character? Oh, yeah. It was part of the reason I started watching the show in the first place. Wow, that's down really low.
Hey, Dina
Why
here.
did I do it that way?
So we just recently-ish found out that Red Dwarf has been renewed for 2 more seasons. So I thought I'd do a Red Dwarf vlog in the vein of my
that's
Little
why I
Pony
started
vlog
doing
and
this.
cover
I
all
forgot.
91 episodes leading up to the new ones. But Dina, I hear you ask, what does this mean for Red Dwarf? And what is this Red Dwarf thing you keep posting all over your Facebook anyway? Well, bear with me.
That's
I'll
dated.
Get to that. Whereas My Little Pony already has a built-in...
I kind of started going on Facebook again lately, but yeah, I stopped going to Facebook for a long time. Yes, it's reversed on the screen, just in case. They had 2 possible cat episodes ideas. Would you like to see them? Of course. Yes, I know it's backwards. That's the point. More Dina on Dina. Oh, like the 3rd season episode. Okay.
An audience, you either love ponies or you don't. I just kind of dove right into that.
Oh yeah, I was doing the My Little Pony
Red
vlogs.
Red Dwarf is a little more obscure,
this.
at least in the US. In the UK, from what I understand, it's a beloved classic, but in America it has more of a cult following, so I figured an introduction of sorts was in order. What I like most about Red Dwarf is that it's...
I have since learned it's actually more of a cult following in the UK as well. I thought it was more well-known over there at the time.
Unique, at least to me. It's a sci-fi comedy with kind of a sliding scale between those 2 genres, with the earliest episodes feeling more like a sitcom set in space with sci-fi elements, and the later ones being more like a sci-fi adventure comedy, retaining the comedy, of course, but being a lot heavier on the sci-fi elements. What I find unique about this is that just about any other show I can think of that could be labeled as a sci-fi comedy is more like a fish out of water story where an alien, half-alien, or robot is living with a family on Earth. They all have to learn how to get along somehow, and hilarity ensues. Mork and Mindy and Alf immediately spring to mind. Red Dwarf...
A couple people pointed out Futurama in the comments, which, yeah, true, but it's not really a sitcom. It's more like a comedy space adventure. Everyone's talking about backwards.
Dwarf to me feels more like if Star Trek was reimagined as a low-budget British comedy with a small cast and no aliens, if that makes any sense. It's one of those shows that barely manages to hang on, and yet somehow manages to still be around nearly 30 years after it started, sometimes with several years in between seasons. I mean, we're only up to season 10 so far, so do the math. It's low budget, and the cast and crew go through hell to make everything come together. And yet the final product is some of the best TV I've ever watched. This is why Red Dwarf being renewed for not only 1 but 2 seasons right now is such a big deal. But anyway, if I go on too long, I won't have anything left to talk about once I get to the actual vlogs. I just wanted to give you a general idea of what you're in for before getting to the pilot episode. Those of you who have never seen Red Dwarf, I hope I inspire you to give it a shot. For those who have, I hope you enjoy re-experiencing it with me.
I did apparently get some people to watch Red Dwarf with these videos. I got some.
Welcome to the Red Dwarf
gotten some
pilot,
comments saying
ironically
that.
titled The End. It's actually kind of an appropriate title, as you'll find out. The show was named after the continent-sized ship where the entire first season takes place. This is one of the main reasons I tend to compare it to Star Trek, although the Red Dwarf really doesn't have that much in common with the Enterprise. Firstly, it's a mining ship. Secondly, it looks very lived in. It's kind of dingy and, well, flawed. It's almost a character itself in a way. But yeah, this is a very different future than what Gene Roddenberry envisioned.
Lister, shut up! I'm only human. Well, don't!
We're introduced to our 2 main characters, Arnold Rimmer and Dave Lister. Lister holds the lowest rank on the ship of 3rd Technician, which basically means that he helps fix the chicken soup machine. Rimmer's is only slightly higher, but don't tell him that. Obviously, these 2 do not get along. In fact, they're practically opposites.
Lister D, 3rd Technician. Offense: obstructing a superior technician by humming,
Oh, look
clicking,
at little
and
baby
being
Rimmer.
quiet.
Rimmer and his reports. That's going to be quite the running gag. Speaking of running gags, the show is oddly consistent about Lister mentioning one of his buddies, Olaf Peterson, all the way up to season 10, so I'm going to keep a running tally of how many times his name comes up.
That's it.
No, it's not. Peterson told me. I try and expect
That's a
Rimmer
pretty
and
good
everything, but
Lister
it's not
impression
easy
there.
because he's such a smeghead.
Aw, it's the first smeghead of the series. According to Wikipedia, the writers deny that it refers to smegma. Not sure if I buy that.
Oh, Rimmer. You are a smeghead.
That was so mean.
So a member of the crew, George McIntyre, has
Oh,
died,
yeah, this
and
bit.
his very respectful funeral takes place.
This is a piece of music he specially requested. Start the tape, please, Holly.
I'll see you later, alligator.
That's actually a different song than the one that was on the Netflix version. I guess they couldn't get the rights to this one, so they went with something that was public domain. Unfortunately, I thought the other one was funnier, and now I can't find it. Bummer.
So yeah, the other song was like, clearly it was public domain because it was something like, here we go, 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 here we go. And like, I don't know, that just really fucking cracked me up first time I saw this. And then I saw the cut with See You Later, Alligator, and like, I guess that makes more sense, but like the sheer like randomness of the other one, I don't know, for some reason I just found it funnier. Oh yeah, in backwards the signs will be forwards for you guys. I'll read the chat since I'm paused real quick. You're more like me than I am. The Tales of Tara and Cat Pals. Oh yeah, I don't think I have any cats back here. Oh, I put up my Christmas tree, by the way. You can't, my head's kind of in the way, but there it is. I put it up right after Thanksgiving. Yeah, I've read some of those comments. You've inspired a few new dwarfers. Yeah. Oh, hi, Jackie. I don't think I saw you before. I was wanting to watch Red Dwarf, but I don't want to sub to BritBox or whatever. Yeah, it's really annoying when they took it off Netflix. I never seen the show, but I did enjoy your videos. Oh well, at least you watched the videos. I appreciate it. I always love that line, Rimmers is only slightly higher, but don't tell him that. Yeah. Because it's true, though, right? He acts like he's, you know, all head honcho whenever he's around Lister, but he's only a slightly higher rank. Remember when Rimmer was a butler, but with a shotgun in the Tomb Raider films? Vaguely, I didn't know who Chris Berry was back then. So Kind of need to watch it again just to see Chris Berry play Laura Croft's butler. It's pretty funny casting there. I love that I can recite the lines as they happen. Yeah, me too, probably. See, Peterson, the official sixth dwarfer. It was a different song in the remastered version as well, but I can't remember what it was. I wonder if it was that. Maybe that was the remastered one that was on Netflix. Because I know I got the remastered versions of, like, season 7 and stuff where a couple of the episodes were longer. Hi, Kai, I think? I think I'm saying that right. Did someone say Red Dwarf? I have them all on DVD. Yeah, I do too. I think. I'm actually not sure if I have the newest one. I might not, actually. I forgot to put that on my Christmas list. Oh, well. Take an Odie on a walk. Didn't you do a reaction thing to the new Silent Hill announcement? Yeah, that was me. I did that. Oh, hi, Zachary. I didn't see you before. Yeah, there's the original live version where I bullshit with the chat a lot, and there's like an edited down version where I cut out some of the off-topic stuff. It's almost a shame that Lister never gets to shut Rimmer in the freezer, but he did manage to lock him with Talkie Toaster. There you go. Oh yeah, the Scudder's dancing too. We all want Talkie Toaster with a mute function.
I still get a kick out of that one guy in the back who's bopping. Meanwhile, Lister has been saving up to move to Fiji. That's going to become important later.
Yes, because they had a volcanic eruption and now most of Fiji's 3 feet below sea level.
That's why the animals are going to have to be quite tall.
So at George
Lister
McIntyre's
was really
reception,
dumb
we
in
find out that he's
season
been brought
1.
back as a hologram, which is somewhat common practice for high-ranking crew members. Basically, he retains all his memories and personality from when he was alive, but he has an H on his forehead and is incorporeal. A person could pass through him, but it's considered rude to do that. Also, the ship's computer can only sustain one hologram at a time. All this is setting up something pretty important to the series.
I don't want you to think of me as someone who's dead. More as someone who's no longer a threat to your marriages. I think Joe knows what I'm talking about.
Gotta love McIntyre. His backstory was pretty dark in the novel, Infinity Welcomes Careful Drivers. He had gotten in trouble with the Mafia and he committed suicide to get away from them. As I recall, he was quite happy to be a hologram since it was a huge weight being lifted off of him.
Weren't they going to cut off his nose, or they talked, or he was afraid they were? He was afraid they were going to cut off his nose.
By writing all the answers all over him. Unless he was going to take the test in his underwear, I'm not sure how that was going to work, but whatever. Meanwhile, notice that Lister falls asleep with a cigarette ready next to him so he can light up as soon as he wakes up.
Jesus.
After Rimmer leaves, Lister reveals that he's been keeping a beautiful black cat named Frankenstein, which is against the rules. Again, this is important later.
Hey.
She looks a little like, she's a little bigger and chunkier
Rimmer's
than
gray
Tara, but
jumpsuit
she looks a
with
little
different
like
colored
Tara.
markers in the pockets reminds me of Commander Mark from the Secret City. Anyone else watch that when they were a kid? Probably not. Anyway.
I actually met that guy, Commander Mark. I actually met him at a convention a few years ago. That was pretty neat. He's much older now, obviously.
Things go badly, and Rimmer has one spectacular meltdown.
I love his little signature.
So Lister is called in to see Captain Hollister.
Now I'm going to ask you again. Do you have a cat?
Good old Captain
No.
Hollister.
Have you got a cat?
Nice.
got
He's given
a
the choice
cat.
of either handing over the cat to be destroyed and dissected, or be put in stasis for 18 months.
So with respect, sir, what's in it for the cat?
He picks stasis. In the book, Lister actually knew what he was doing. He hated being on Red Dwarf and wanted to go into stasis so it would be over in an instant from his point of view. Basically speeding up his plan to retire to Fiji.
I forgot I actually did listen to that first audiobook, and I started listening to the second, but I don't know. Couldn't really get into it.
So he got the cat and let himself get caught. I personally prefer the idea that he really was that stupid and that he chose stasis to save Frankenstein, and I assumed that was the case until I listened to the audiobook. We do see him wearing a Hawaiian shirt when he goes into stasis, though, so I guess it could go either way.
Oh, I've got some Twitch spam bot. I think that's well, probably not the first time, but first time I remember. What do I do
When
about
Lister is
that?
let out of stasis by the ship's computer, Holly, he finds out that the rest of the crew is dead, leading to one of the best overly long gags ever.
Is everybody on?
They're dead, Dave.
Who is?
Everybody, Dave.
Well, Selby.
They're all dead. Everybody's dead, Dave.
Everybody's dead,
Rimmer.
Dave.
He's dead, Dave. Everybody is dead. Everybody is dead, Dave.
Wait. Are you trying to tell me everybody's dead?
Should have never let him out in the first place.
Also, I feel
Never
the need
should
to
have let
point
him out
out
in the
the
first place.
2001 reference.
I don't know
with
what
the
to do
computer
about
being named Holly,
bots
which
in
sounds like
Twitch.
Hal,
It's not
being
giving me any
soft-spoken
options.
and talking to someone he calls Dave. It turns
Oh
out that a
well.
drive plate wasn't sealed properly, by Rimmer naturally, and it resulted in radiation flooding the ship and reducing everyone to piles of dust.
What is this stuff?
That is catering officer Olaf Peterson.
I've been eating half the crew. How long was I in stasis?
Maybe you shouldn't
3
just
million
randomly
years.
eat things when
3
you don't know what they are,
million years.
Lister.
I've still got that library book.
And now Rimmer is a hologram.
Do you mind? Never again will I be able to brush a rose against my cheek, cradle a laughing child, or interfere with a woman sexually.
Interfere with a woman sexually. I don't think I've ever heard it put that way before.
Interfere.
I can't write it down. I'll remember it.
Aw. Okay, we're about to meet our final main character of the first two seasons,
Yay.
and my favorite. In fact, I love him so much I'm planning on making a separate video about just him and his role in the show. So I'm gonna have an interesting time perpetually biting my tongue and not pointing out every cute little thing he does.
Oh, better make myself look big.
Naturally, I have to leave some things in.
During the radioactive crisis,
can't just
stage,
not
young
talk about
and male
Cat.
kittens were safely sealed in the hold, and they've been breeding there for 3 million years. Well, you know how mankind evolved from apes.
Yeah, I know that.
He evolved from cats. His ancestors were cats. He's descended from cats. He is a cat.
So he doesn't have a name, but Lister tries to communicate.
Hello? Cat?
And it just
Space
sticks.
heater going.
He is referred to as Cat or the Cat for the rest of the series. Meanwhile, Rimmer momentarily forgets that he's a hologram and makes an ass out of himself, and that kind of breaks the ice.
But where are all the other little kitties? Are they gone? Are they dead? Have they left yet?
Who cares? I want it off the ship.
What are you gonna do, chuck him out the airlock? Actually, yeah, Rimmer would probably do that.
The Holy Mother, saved by Cloister the Stupid,
It's me, it's Lister. It's Lister the Stupid.
who shall returneth to lead us to Fushao, the promised land.
No, it's not Fushal, it's Fiji. That's where we're going. Holly, plot a course for Fiji. Look out, eh? The slime's coming home.
And so ends the end. So that was my take on the Red Dwarf pilot. It does its job well with introducing us to the four main characters, even if my favorite doesn't show up until 5 minutes before the end. I can't help but wonder if there was anyone who watched this show for the first time, not knowing that nearly all of the characters we saw wandering around the ship would be dead 2/3 into the episode, and what their reaction was when that happened. It's really kind of dark, isn't it? Even the scene where Lister discovers this, while mostly being played for laughs, definitely has sad and dark undertones. The first episode of this series marks the end of Lister's life as he knew it, and possibly the end of humanity. Again, pretty dark, and that's why I think the title to this episode is appropriate. Really, Lister loses everything. His friends, his love interest, and his plans for retiring to Fiji are blown. Although it takes a while for that to really sink in. This is not my favorite episode. I feel the series doesn't really start to pick up until season 3, but it's a great pilot with a lot of hilarious moments in it. Next up is Future Echoes. See you then.
Checks all the pilot boxes. Ah, the site that shall not be
She won't
named.
be much use to you on Fiji now. Not unless it snows and you need something to grit the path with.
Holly?
I thought about that. Probably none of you are watching Reginald the Vampire, but there's a scene where a bunch of vampires get turned into dust, and I totally remembered that line. Let's skip the opening here. Totally remembered that line Holly said about having something to grit the pathway with. Was Lister Rimmer in charge of the chicken soup machine? Officially, it was Rimmer. Lister was just a single rank below him. Thank you. I was thinking it was both of them, really, but I guess it would have been Rimmer. As an overall sci-fi concept, I prefer seasons 1 and 2, just so bleak and dripping in existentialism. The first book sort of touched on the utter pointlessness of being the last human alive, more of that stuff. Yeah, that's true. The show definitely changes a lot. I don't feel like it changes for the worse, but it definitely changes. I've been using AI art. Hi, Zachary. I don't think I saw you before. I've been using AI art generation to make images of a Silent Hill movie directed by Ingmar Bergman. That sounds interesting. You should post those in the what do you call it? I use it so little I forget what it's called. Discord. Oh yeah, I remember the line, McIntyre left the lobby of the Mimas Hilton carrying his nose in a hotel napkin. Oh, so his nose did get cut off. Yeah, I'd want to die too if that happened to me. Oops, damn it, I got... The fuck did I leave off at? Okay, I'm almost there. There it is. Okay. Also, after seeing Don't Look Now, I think a red dwarf is just about the last thing I want anything to do with. Everyone loves the Rimmer salute. My favorite clip of someone doing the Rimmer salute was when Patrick Stewart did it. That was great. I wonder how many people named a cat Frankenstein after seeing this episode. Oh, fun fact, apparently Danny John Jules owns, I think, a black cat that he named it T'Challa. I thought that was pretty cool. What was the episode where the cat and Lister proclaimed their lust for Wilma Flintstone? Oh, God, I know it's season 1. Well, it could be season 2, I guess. Crap, it's on the tip of my tongue. I'm sure somebody else answered. I like how in the book the captain was a short, dumpy American woman who'd had the misfortune to be born with the surname Kirk. Forgot about that. Oh, backwards was when the Wilma Flintstone conversation happened. Rimmer cheating proves cheating is the same as studying. I like to think there will be cat people in a few million years. I hope so. At least I think I do. Oh, it might have been marooned, actually. Twitch bots be gone. Everybody's dead, Dave. I can tell what part of the video I'm up to at this point in the chat. The second book is good if you persevere. It adapts White Hole, Marooned, and Polymorph. Oh, interesting. Maybe it wasn't the second one then. It was Better Than Life. It was the Better Than Life book. Unless that's the one you're talking about. I've only been away 2 minutes. Hi, Lee. Different Lee. I've called my sister's kitten Frankenstein a few times. That's cute. Hi, Brandon. Oh, you normally listen to YouTube on 1.5 speed. That's funny. I don't do that very often. I love how he just sweeps Peterson off the desk onto the floor just to put his foot up. Yeah. Where did Cat get all those nice clothes? I assume he makes them. I talk about that in the Cat videos. I remember in the remastered version when Rimmer runs through Cat, we hear him crashing into something off screen despite a soft light hologram. Yeah, that's weird. I don't think that was in the version I saw though, so maybe I don't have the... Maybe Netflix didn't have a remastered version for the first couple seasons or whatever. Everybody's dead Dave became a trope name, yeah. Have you played Immortality? I have not. It was done by the writer of Shattered Memories and has a lot of similar ideas. Oh, that's neat. Maybe I'll try to check it out then if it's on Steam. It doesn't cost too much. Will there be a part 2 in this? Probably, at least until I come up with something, you know... If I come up with a game to stream or artwork to stream or something like that. How did I only just realize this video's mirrored? Well, as Rimmer's the only one who can apparently tell the difference between 14B and a 14F, it's probably just as well that he was in charge. Yeah. A link to the Discord. Maybe somebody else can post it this time. I don't want to bring it up on the screen. I'll somebody else post the link to the Discord and I will, at least I think you guys should be able to post the link and I'll pin it. Yeah, when McIntyre met the 3 men, quote, he wondered though, not too hard, why one of them was carrying a pair of industrial bolt clippers. Oh God, that's so horrible. Oh, it wasn't backwards. Okay, the Wilma conversation. I know the Twitch bot isn't you, Sticks. Hi, Dorkarama. Cats groom themselves, hence it would make sense that Cat makes his own clothes. I guess so. You'd know if it was the remastered version. The ship design is the same one as the one from Series 8. I don't really notice the change in ship design too much, to be honest. But yeah, I'm pretty sure there wasn't a crashing sound when Rimmer attacked Cat or tried to attack Cat. Thank you, Kai. 4,691 irradiated haggis. Well, here's 10 anyway. Thanks. How many times did you think Rimmer has died? Maybe 3? I'm not sure if that's true, though. That's just off the top of my head. Hi, Kirky. Rimmer's my favorite character of all time. He's a good character. No, I still haven't played Stray. Hi, Julia. I don't think I saw you earlier. I haven't played Stray yet. I really should. That'd be a good thing to stream, but after I get comfortable with it. Yeah, twice is probably right. Oh, I just saw the tip from Do. Stopping by to throw some money at you on this gloomy Saturday. Thank you. It is gloomy. It's rainy and windy, or it was. It seems to have calmed down now, but... You can probably see out my window a little bit. Oh, maybe it was 3. Okay, hi Coin Gamer. Trying to find an invite button. It might turn out that I can do it. I hope other people can do it. Well, whatever. I guess once I get caught up with the chat, I'll see if I can. I'll just do it myself. Looking forward to the Super Mario Brothers movie. I mean, a little bit, I guess. I'm not really a Mario fan, so I don't really have that much investment in it, but I'm interested to see how it turns out. It's been talked about for so long. Captain Emerald. Are the Silent Hill 3 streams on hiatus still? I mentioned that earlier, actually. I couldn't get the Elgato to work. I'm not sure why. Maybe one of these days I'll, like, fiddle with it and see if I can figure out what's wrong, but I think it's just not working. I don't see the link. That's interesting. Let me switch to live chat. Maybe it just didn't turn up. Maybe you guys aren't able to post links in the chat. I heard Stray is a good game. I don't think I could stand seeing a cat in peril, especially since it's so cute. Yeah, that's a good point. Apprehensive of the Mario movie, I reserve judgment until I see it. Yeah, that's fair. Like, visually it looks really good, I think. I need to spend it on alcohol, but have my money anyway. Thanks, Artie. I am alive, boom. That was funny. Oh yeah, there is going to be a Last of Us series. I guess maybe if it gets good ratings, I'll check it out. I never played the games, but they always looked interesting. I hope the new Mario movie is good. I'm sick of all the complaining. Yeah. Have you watched the Super Mario movie where the 2 Italian plumbers are played by an English bloke and a Colombian American actor? I've seen it before. I don't remember it too vividly. Yeah, I think your comments with the link aren't showing up, Special Iron. It's okay. Thanks for trying. Hi, Hex. Chris Pratt is not a bad actor at all. He's just not the right choice for Mario. That's fair. I actually have Stray. I just haven't played it yet. You caught me as I was watching Red Dwarf. That's too funny. Hi, Gordon. Oh, thank you, Kirky. Little unicorn. I love the first game because of the themes. I refuse to play a second one because I don't like the themes in that one. I think Dina's only interested in 2 of the new Silent Hill things for the announcement. That sounds about right. Maybe 3. I don't remember. I want to go into Blue Alert. Okay, I'll post it. Where the hell is it? Yeah, see, I didn't want it to pop up in the... I mean, I guess it doesn't matter. See if I can remember how to invite people. I forgot now. Oh, invite people. There it is. Oh, I almost posted it in the Twitch chat. I guess I could. I don't think anyone's in there, but... in. Okay. Horizon Forbidden West? Never heard of it, I don't think. I'm happy they're getting fans back for the Silent Hill 2 movie, because if anything else, at least we know it'll look gorgeous. In the second one, I've forced out turds I have more love for than that movie. Oh. The extrants have started coming in. Alright, let's go back to this now.
Morning, Lister. How's life in hippie heaven, you pregnant baboon-bellied space? God, you're a disgrace to the species.
Rude.
Good morning, Rimmer.
So Holly is a bit preoccupied with turning the ship around and preparing for light speed, and he's having trouble keeping up with the demands of the 2 remaining crew members, which Rimmer does not appreciate.
When I say do something, you do it. Understand? You stupid, jumped-up Filofax.
I'm a what?
You heard. Just get on with it. Very short.
Okay, Arnold.
One of Lister's fish appears to be dead, which sets off a gag that really caught me off guard the first time I saw it. Yeah, it's a little robot, but you don't know that going into it.
Yeah, it makes more sense when you realize it's a robot.
I would love to know what Kat's thinking right about now.
You are how you look. And I look like a complete and total tit.
I don't know what it is about the delivery of that line, but the first time I saw that part, I laughed so hard I couldn't breathe.
I'll see you toast on the fires of hell for this.
Did someone say they wanted toast?
Oh no.
Talkie toaster! Meanwhile, Lister is preparing to go back into stasis for the trip back to Earth, which Rimmer is also not happy about. Rimmer is pretty much never happy about anything.
I was about to
Speaking
say,
of Rimmer,
what is
his
Rimmer ever
downfall
happy
is that he
about?
blames all of his problems on someone or something else. In fact, dying was probably the best thing to ever happen to Rimmer, because now he has this nice big excuse for all his failures from this point on. What a smeghead.
You had 2 people coming for a job and one of them was dead. Which one would you choose?
What it comes down to is that Lister suggests that Rimmer have himself turned off while he's in stasis.
Even better. Switch me on, switch me off, like I'm some battery-powered sex aid.
But Rimmer suspects that Lister won't have him turn back on once they reach Earth. Later on, Lister gets deodorant and shaving cream, but this is easily fixed. Classy. By the way, notice that the signs on the ship are in English and Esperanto.
I forgot about the Esperanto. That kind of goes away after a bit.
Shut up!
Oh yeah, sorry about the bad edits. I was really trying hard to avoid copyright claims and stuff. After a certain point, I gave up. But these earlier episodes, I kept re-uploading the videos and editing them further and further until I looked more and more crappy, and I don't bother anymore, but for a while I was. That's why some of these have weird editing.
And then stuff starts to get weird.
Hey? I said what?
What's going on?
Ah! Rimmer!
I've just been in the library thinking, and I've decided...
Rimmer, I'm telling you.
Shut up!
And this is the conversation Rimmer was having a second ago.
That's so weird.
I think I lost my tooth. Can't wait. Gonna eat you.
I was just making sure your fish are okay. I wasn't gonna eat them.
Holly, watch my lips. What is happening?
So Holly finally explains what future echoes are.
Well, we're travelling faster than LS, right? Consequently, you're catching up with things you're about to do before you've actually done them.
What's LS?
Light speed.
Smart ass.
I love this about the Red Dwarf universe. It's possible to be literally dumber than a toaster.
Can they see us?
Of course not. Use your loaf.
And suddenly they get a glimpse of something that's going to take longer than a few minutes to happen.
What's this, guys? Don't go into stasis. Please don't leave us with Rimmer.
This is our first real view of the Scudders. They were in the pilot if you knew where to look, but this is the first time we see them acting like characters and not just props. They're kind of adorable, especially that one in the back that keeps missing the wall. But there's a bang that shakes the whole ship, so Lister goes running back to the drive room.
Brace yourself for a bit of a shock, Lister, but I just saw you die.
What?
I didn't want you to brace yourself.
Holly, where's the cat?
He's just going into your sleeping quarters, Dave.
Oh, smacking hell!
Really, Rimmer? So Lister tests whether or not he's able to change the future by seeing if he can stop the cat from breaking his tooth, which goes about as well as you'd expect.
My tooth! My tooth! My tooth! I think I lost my tooth!
There's loads of things I've never done. Like, I've never had a prawn vindaloo. And I've never read a book.
What's that poem? Now, weary traveller, rest your head, for just like me, you're utterly dead.
Rimmer was really an asshole in the really early episodes.
You said yourself.
More so than later on.
I can't
even.
stop it. Let's get it over with.
You can't whack death on the head.
No, but you can kick it in the crotch, apparently.
If he comes near me, I'm gonna rip his
Foreshadowing.
nipples off.
So Lister goes to the drive room, and of course he doesn't die, but the reason for it is weird. So they go back to their bunk, where they find a very old version of Lister with his hand missing. By the way, slight spoiler, but there's an episode in Season 7 where Lister does lose his hand. Though he gets it back, so different timeline, I guess. But apparently the creators always did intend for Lister to lose a hand. Those are some long-ass dreads.
I know you're there. Because when I was your age, I saw me at my age telling you what I'm about to tell you.
Dreads.
And he has a really good memory.
It wasn't you Rimmer saw in the drive room. It was Bexley.
Rimmer, you saw me son die?
Yeah, Lister, it's only your kid that dies. Good for you.
Yeah, well, everyone dies. You're born and you die.
Like I said, weird.
Get your camera and run to the medical unit. Run!
What about me? What happens to me?
Yes, it's all about you, Rimmer.
Closer.
Yes!
You goit!
Nice.
No, you goit!
Polly, you're a goit!
I'm a what?
You heard!
I'm a what?
I wonder if Holly will ever run out of funny hairstyles to give Rimmer whenever he pisses him off.
How you're supposed to...
Oh, the text at the bottom, because you probably can't read it, is, sorry, this was the only way to bypass the content ID system. Normal colors will return shortly.
to get 2 sons without a woman on the ship.
Neither do I. But it's going to be a laugh finding out.
Not for you, it isn't.
I can't see you, but I know you can see me. I'd like you to meet your 2 sons.
I like how the babies have little baby dreads.
They do.
Not to mention Polaroid cameras still being used in the future.
Wow.
And so ends Future Echoes. To be honest, I actually had kind of a hard time thinking of things to say about this episode. The first couple episodes after the pilot are very simplistic. Like I said, it basically starts off as a sitcom of sorts. They're definitely entertaining, but they don't really challenge your brain and make you think about stuff like some of the later episodes do. Which is totally fine for entertainment purposes, it just makes them hard to analyze outside of talking about how funny they are. This is a pretty solid episode, though there aren't too many episodes of Red Dwarf I actively dislike anyway. It's basically a good filler episode. Next up is Balance of Power. See you then.
Oh, I still occasionally get people commenting like nitpicking my use of the term filler episode.
Can you just try and give me a black coffee?
I'll certainly try.
That's a bucket.
Sorry.
I love his delivery of that line. That's a bucket. Okay. Which was the game with robot dinosaurs? Horizon Forbidden West. Okay, interesting. Game with robot dinosaurs that you hunt with bow and arrows? What more could a person want? So we have me as Tails and now Shadow who wants to be Sonic. Yeah, I was noticing that earlier. Yeah, I'm just gonna watch these in order. I'm not gonna jump around. So we'll get to season 12 eventually. Oh, you're responding to Styx. Whatever comment he made that he deleted. I guess. I like in the book after he fixes the fish, it swims backwards. Oh, yeah. That sounds familiar. Either somebody told me about that or maybe I do remember it from the book. I remember seeing interviews where Danny John Jules stated that "like a complete and total tit" was one of his all-time favorite lines. I don't know why it's so funny. Just maybe just the delivery, I guess. Plus, I'm not used to hearing the word tit used that way. Rimmer. You uploaded the pics. Good. I'll check them out after the stream. We can't expect you to include every joke. You'd be there all day. Yeah, exactly. That's always what I say whenever someone says, "Oh, you left out this funny bit." I'm like, I can't leave in everything. Anyone else get a headache with all this time travel talk? I love that Rimmer is so unpopular that even the machines hate him. Yeah, I like how season 2 tones down Rimmer's mania a bit and gives us cause to sympathize with him. Yeah. The whole saw his son die thing is why the writers decided never to bring this scene up again in hindsight. Good idea. That was weird. I don't know what they were thinking. Oddly enough, Polaroid cameras are apparently coming back over here. Apparently, we'll have triangular videotapes next. You're all goits. I'm surrounded by goits. Who wants a hot gazpacho soup? I've never had gazpacho soup before, and I gather it's basically a salad, so it must be terrible heated up. Confession time, I've obsessively rewatched every single episode of Red Dwarf, including the new seasons, except for season 8. Never seen a single episode. You're not missing too much. There are some bits in season 8 that I thought were funny, but yeah, overall, it's probably the worst season. Tit is actually a pretty common insult over here. Ah, okay. As in, what are you talking about, you utter tit? Yeah, I'm not used to hearing it as an insult. That's probably why I found that line so funny. Season 8 is somewhat meh, yeah. In the book, they tried to soften it by changing it to a grandson that Rimmer saw, but still, that doesn't really soften it very much. Polaroid is the future. Swearing isn't nearly as taboo in the UK as it is in America, most notably with cunt. Yeah, I have gathered that. I mainly liked the plot of Crydy TV, particularly the payoff. I thought I'd write you a song. Rimmer's reaction, yeah. Yeah, Crydy TV is hit or miss for me, but parts of it are really funny. Which Rimmer death is the best? I don't know. Alright, let's go back to this. Which one is this? Oh, Balance of Power, of course.
Check.
4,691 irradiated haggis.
Oh, Rimmer, it's Saturday night. I've had enough.
4,691 irradiated haggis.
Rimmer, it's Saturday night. I want to boogie on down.
4,691 irradiated haggis.
We've been doing this for 4 hours. Let's have a break.
4,691 irradiated haggis.
There were
Rimmer,
haggis. I forgot about that part.
4,981 irradiated haggis and speak to me.
4,691 irradiated haggis.
Rimmer, I want to go for a drink.
4,691 irradiated haggis.
I want to have some fun.
This is fun. Are you mad?
So, as usual, Rimmer and Lister are not getting along, and we see more evidence of how Lister is lazy and Rimmer is a control freak, and how their different outlooks clash with each other. Lister finally asks Holly the million-dollar question.
Holly, why Rimmer's hologram?
Why
do you
Rimmer?
have to bring Rimmer's hologram back?
And not his love interest, Christine Kachansky.
And who should I have brought back then?
Anyone? Shen, Peterson? I mean, Herman Goering would have been more of a laugh than Rimmer.
Herman
The answer is
Goering.
basically that he barely exchanged any words with her, and there was no kind of relationship. Slight spoiler, that's gonna get retconned in a few seasons, but I'll cross that bridge when I come to it. Flashback time.
I have been to Juno. I can name 8 things that go in jars of Juno.
Brains! In jars? And the uncle's brains in a jar. It's really sad. Why is it sad? He's not dead yet.
Yeah, you're gonna find that a lot less funny in season 6, Lister. Anytime someone empties their glass of beer on this show, they put it on their head, sometimes upside down. Is this a UK thing or a random future thing the writers made up? I have never seen that before, but I also don't watch a lot of British television. It's pretty much this and Blackadder. Rimmer shows up in his...
Oh yeah, basically people confirmed in the comments that it's basically a British, like, drinking thing. Yeah, I think it's just British. I kind of forgotten, but yeah, it's a drinking game thing.
Commander Mark coveralls. I know at least one person gets that reference.
Where's my revision
Oh
time?
yeah, someone commented, went, oh yeah, I do remember Commander Mark, so I gave him a little shout out there.
Colours with all the subjects
Sort
divided
of.
into study periods and rest periods and self-testing time.
And this is another thing that makes an appearance later. We actually get to see one in season 10, and it is glorious.
Leave it alone! Leave it!
Alone?
Meanwhile, the cat has found the supply of cigarettes that Rimmer has been hiding from Lister as punishment. Like I said before, I'm trying to direct focus away from the cat for now because I plan to talk about him in a separate video, but...
I'll show you how to get all the fish you'll ever need.
5 fish?
5 fish.
It's hard because he is so precious. Meanwhile, Lister is listening to music that comes with a health warning.
This music can make you irritable and irrational and has been linked with disorders of the nervous system and bowels.
Can we add that warning to like 90% of all country music while we're at it?
Why don't you listen to something really classical like Mozart, Mendelssohn, or Motorhead?
Do you remember Christine Kachansky? Well, I want to go on a date with her.
Tough, she's dead.
Lister tries to convince
Tough,
Rimmer to
she's
turn
dead.
himself off for one evening so that he can be replaced with a hologram of Kachansky,
But you're just going to say no?
Not necessarily, I'm mulling it over.
which goes about as well as you'd expect.
No. And there's still a pecking order, and I'm pecking you, baby.
Okay.
Actually, okay, Lister is not a threat, technically speaking.
So Lister decides to take the exam that will grant him a higher rank than Rimmer, so Rimmer will have to agree to let him have Kachansky and give his cigarettes back.
Lister, okay is never a threat, no matter how many A's you put on the end. Holly, give me a cold shower, will you please?
I feel like I should take a cue from SF Debris and call scenes like this stupid hologram tricks.
Can you give me a clean uniform?
Oh,
You
yeah.
can manage that? Holly, where's my arm? It's got tattoos. Candy, Denmark forever. Is this Peterson's arm, Holly?
It's especially funny because if you pay attention to the flashbacks with Peterson, his arms really are that hairy. And Holly's fucking with Rimmer again. Ow. I love the audience's reaction. It's pretty much my reaction too, because that really looks painful. If you're a hologram on Red Dwarf, you really don't want to get on Holly's bad side.
Done it. Just in time.
I hate everything.
Rimmer goes looking for Lister and finds that he isn't in the theater as he would normally be.
What are you two doing here? Scutters don't have time off. I'll deal with you two later.
Insert ubiquitous comment about how much I love the Scutters. It turns out that Lister is taking the chef's exam, which would put him at a higher rank than Rimmer.
A white-hatted ponce? That's not a real officer.
It outranks you, smeg for brains.
I mean, you're tense and I'm tense.
Ponce
and
is such
there's
a silly word.
absolutely no need for it.
I'm not tense.
Of course you're tense, you rectum-faced pygmy.
Rimmer comes up with the
Rectum-faced
best insults, I'll give him that.
You can have the cigarette. Throw a pipeline photo.
No.
Good. The cat betrayed me.
Of course he did. Of course, now that Lister appears to be doing well on his exam, Rimmer is getting worried.
Oh, come on, Lister. Laugh, laugh, laugh. Chuckle, guffaw, giggle. That's Rimsey enlisting.
I love how he mocks him by drawing a letter H on his forehead.
You never learn, do you?
So Lister is in the middle of the chef's exam when...
Hello, Dave. I'm sorry, but I just don't like you. I need a man who's going places. Up, up, up the ziggurat, lickety-split.
Go away, Rimmer.
Look, I'm a bit out of sorts at
Only
the moment.
Rimmer would say that.
I'm having a woman's period.
A woman's period? Women don't speak like that.
I've never heard anyone call it a woman's period. Must be a UK thing.
Nah, it's not.
Of course that was really Rimmer. You can actually tell right away if you're familiar with how he talks.
Holly, this is not my breast. I want my own nipple back.
Stay classy, Rimmer.
There's no rush, Holly.
How did you do? How did you do, Lister?
How did I do, Mr. Lister, sir?
And so ends Balance of Power.
The most interesting event that happened recently.
Oh, and Holly reveals at the beginning of the next episode that Lister lied about passing the exam.
That gives you some idea of how truly exciting some days can be around here.
This was another kind of filler episode, but less fillery than Future Echoes. That bit of darkness from the pilot returns, with Lister reminiscing about the good times he had with his drinking buddies. As annoyed as he was while they were mocking his attraction to Kachansky, he clearly misses it now that they're all dead. Not to mention the fact that there was a time when he could have talked to Kachansky and didn't. Speaking of which, I have to wonder if Lister really thought through his idea of having Kachansky as a hologram. Does he really just only want to talk to her, or has he not considered the fact that he wouldn't be able to touch her in any way? I suspect that it's the latter. Lister is not the brightest bulb in the pack sometimes. Though I'm a bit surprised that the show didn't address that. It seems like something Rimmer would have jumped on. That's just my opinion.
Yeah,
It
it
could
feels
be
like
that
the
Lister
writers
does
didn't really think
realize
that
that,
through.
but knows that just seeing and talking to her is the best he can hope for at this point, so he goes for it. That's actually kind of depressing. Next up is one of my favorite Season 1 episodes, Waiting for God. See you then.
Fish! Today's fish is trout a la creme. Enjoy your meal.
Fish!
Today's fish is trout a la creme. Enjoy your meal.
I will.
Can only show like 10 seconds of that, because that's how. Oh, has a kitty rubbing up against my nags. Teeny Tara. Come here, baby girl. Gotcha. Ugh. There she is. There she is. No purrs. No purrs. She's not happy. Or maybe she's purring a tiny bit. Yeah, she's purring now. That's a good girl. Who's a good girl? Petting her with my chin. Rimmer truly was the very edition of obnoxious in this episode. Yeah, he was. I went to the pantomime yesterday, Jack and the Beanstalk at Sheffield. Okay. I've never heard of that, but it sounds interesting. The Odd Couple in Space. Yeah, pretty much. Rimmer's good at making schedules, that's true. Maybe not sticking to them so much. I've never seen anyone put their glass on their head personally, but we do have a pretty big drinking culture over here, so it doesn't surprise me. It's more of a 70s and 80s thing, putting empty pint glasses. Where'd I look? Damn it. Oh, thank you, MX. I'll get to your message in a second. Or it's Mexan, sorry. I guess that's part of the, currency. So I actually don't know how much that is then. I don't know how much MX dollars are. My daughter has watched a fair amount of the show, and the fish scene is one of her favorites. That's cool. You're not even old enough to drink, are you, Flash? I'm not trying to be cute. I'm just trying to remember. Today's fish is trout a la creme. Enjoy your meal. Stop hitting yourself. Add the warning to rap music as well. Yeah, that's another. That's another. Well, I liked some rap from the 80s before it got all, you know, when it was more fun. And it wasn't all about how women are hoes and all that. SF Debris shout out. Yeah, I'd forgotten I'd said that. What did Lister make? Oh, I don't remember. I'm sure they said it on the episode, but I apparently cut that part out. One of many examples of why you shouldn't underestimate Holly. The first Kachansky was cool. Yeah, she was. A woman's period, that's a rimmerism. Yeah. Hi, Femilem? I don't think I saw you before. Yeah, people were weird in the comments about Dina not getting the woman's period thing. Pedantic weirdos. Yeah, the way Lister said it, I thought he was saying, he said women don't speak like that, implying that men do. That was the implication I got from the tone. Some people were a little, yeah, some people got a little bit annoying about it. Anyone got a favorite Red Dwarf? Oops. Favorite Red Dwarf episode? You can't say Gunmen of the Apocalypse. Well, I want to play then. What's another episode I like? There's a whole bunch. Borderline season 5 and 6 for me. Yeah, same. I know I really loved season 10. I still prefer Norman Lovett as Holly. I think his sarcasm is just funnier than Hattie Hayridge. Probably most people agree with you. Five-hole fish, a cat's dream. I remember both the writers referred to Waiting for God as the cat priest golden sausage one. Oh, you guys could hear her purring. That's too cute. The Holy Mother. Yeah, Norman is great in the role, but he's such an egomaniac drama queen in real life. Stop making me purr. You're embarrassing me, Mum. Yeah, black cats are great. Okay, Mexans comment. Hi, Dina, want to start streaming for a small income. What do you recommend? How often and what place is the best to gather an audience? I don't know if I'm the best person to ask, because the only reason I have so many viewers is because I've been on YouTube for such a long time. And frankly, I don't make enough money to, like... Well, you did say a small income. You didn't say it was going to be, like, your main income, so... I think I have heard that Twitch is a better place to get viewers, to get new viewers, but it hasn't really worked out for me, which is why I'm... Well, technically I'm streaming on both YouTube and Twitter, but you'll notice I've only gotten like two chat comments on Twitch. Almost got a cat butt Saturday when Tara jumped down. Oh, Mexican pesos. Okay, thank you. Roughly half a US dollar. Okay, thank you. I should have known that MX meant Mexican. I don't know why that didn't click. Why a box for Brits? Yeah, Blackadder is good. I haven't watched it in ages, but I used to love it when I was a kid. It was a cake, but it was supposed to be roast beef. Yeah, that sounds familiar. A pantomime is a very British tradition. It's a big theater production at Christmas. Every local theater has one. Oh, right, the thing you talked about earlier. Okay. Interesting. Oh, what did I miss there? Oh, that was a follow. Hi, St. Clinton, if you're actually watching right now. If anyone has ever talked to a woman ever, you'd understand that periods is more of a personal thing and don't openly talk about periods. Yeah, that too. You don't talk about it, period. No prob, Mexin. Because he's Lister, he may have been joking, though, yeah, it's possible. Oh, Only Fools and Horses is the name of a show. I always liked Blackadder too. I think that one was always my favorite. I thought Rowan Atkinson looked surprisingly good with a beard. Oh, you're 20. Okay. I was thinking you were a little younger than that for some reason. Can legally drink in the UK, but not in America. You're old enough to die for America, but you're not old enough to drink Americans. Yeah. 10th anniversary of Red Dwarf 10 beginning this month. Wow. Yeah, I guess it probably has been that long. I remember watching Red Dwarf Night all those years ago with Can't Smeg, Won't Smeg, etc. Yeah, I had to watch that on YouTube, but it's fun. Blackadder 2 is the best. I had such a crush on Percy. I almost forgot about Percy. I was thinking about that the other day, that Edmund originally had two sidekicks, Baldric and Percy, and then at some point they dropped Percy and it was just Baldric. And Percy also wasn't in Blackadder's Christmas Carol. Okay, Sticks, thanks for stopping by. Periods are the reason I'm glad I'm a guy. Women must be stronger than soldiers to go through that every month. Yeah, tell me about it. It's not fun, I'll tell you that. I won't go into the gory details, but I like Blackadder 2 and 4 the best. I never really... I feel like I've seen 4, but like only once, I think. I don't remember it too well. I like Blackadder 2 and 4 best, but 3 is really funny as well. The first season is completely different. For one thing, Baldric is the smart one. Oh, wow. I don't remember that. Early installment weirdness, yeah. Percy left after the second one because he was afraid of being typecast. Oh, okay. He returned in the fourth one as Captain Darling, though. Okay, I didn't remember that he returned. That's cool. World War I. Yeah, that sounds right. And Season 1 Blackadder was a buffoon. Yeah, Season 1 was really weird, wasn't it? I noticed they didn't make any reference to Season 1 in Blackadder's Christmas Carol. Just kind of skipped over that one. I think I was going to say something else about Blackadder, but I can't remember what now. BBC Two had strange indents made for Red Dwarf Night where the 2 logo and a Scudder get married and have a family. I feel like I've seen that on YouTube. There is a pilot Blackadder episode which shows Blackadder as how he was portrayed in the next seasons. Oh yeah, Flashheart, I remember him. Oh, and Bob. Yeah, I remember Bob now. That was an episode. Alright. Oh yeah, Waiting for God. Hi, Moonbeam.
The whole purpose of my existence is to serve you with hot, buttered, scrummy toast. If you don't want any, then my existence is meaningless.
Good.
I toast. Therefore I am.
Will you shut up?
Lister has been reading cat books.
You don't use marks, you use smells. You run your nose along the line and all the different smells released.
Meanwhile, a UFO has been spotted.
You mean a rock?
It might not be.
They're always rocks.
Mostly they're rocks, I agree, but maybe this one's different.
This is also the season 1 episode that most features Talkie Toaster.
Why are we here?
Oh, yeah.
Beats me. You want some toast?
For better or for worse.
Beats me,
So
want
Kat,
some
who's
toast?
been bringing Lister these cat books,
cute.
has now brought what is basically their version of the Bible.
That's a cat thing. You see, sometimes in a book, we have a drawing of something that is happening in the story, and we call them pictures.
And Lister basically finds out that he's Jesus of the cat people.
No, that's me. I was sent to stasis. That's what frozen in time is.
He did that to save Frankenstein.
But Frankenstein was my pet cat. I am your god.
There's an interesting thing to put on your resume.
If you're God, why that face?
What's wrong with me face?
What's wrong with your face? It's upside down and inside out. That's what's wrong with it.
So Holly has brought in the UFO, which has turned out to be a pod, which sets off one of the best visual gags of the whole series. Gross.
Ew. That's smeary leaves.
All right, let's do a play it your way.
After Rimmer leaves the room, it turns out to be a garbage pod.
Why didn't you tell him?
Well, it's a laugh, isn't it?
Rimmer believes that the pod was sent by super intelligent aliens.
I mean, like the pyramids. How did they move such massive pieces of stone without the aid of modern technology?
They had massive whips, Rimmer. Massive whips.
Yeah, pretty much.
What do you believe in then?
I've actually since heard that like maybe they didn't use slaves to build the pyramids, but I hadn't heard that at the time I made this video. I don't know which is true, to be honest.
Do you believe in God?
God, certainly not. What a preposterous thought. I believe in aliens, Lister.
Rimmer strongly believes in aliens.
Aliens, Lister, who can give me a real body.
Spoiler, none are ever going to show up on this series. Why? Because Rimmer wants it. The next morning, this is kind of the definitive Dave Lister scene for me.
Give me breakfast. Chicken vindaloo and a milkshake.
What flavour milkshake?
Beer.
Beer.
Chicken vindaloo and a beer milkshake. For breakfast, no less. Yep, that's our Lister. So Holly has translated the cat Bible, and Lister finds out that he is indeed Cloister, or the cat god.
And there we shall open a temple of food, wherein shall be sausages and savoury donuts, and all manner of bountiful things. Yea, even individual sachets of mustard.
It sounds great until he learns that a holy war broke out over a disagreement about Lister's intentions, and a lot of them died.
The ones who believe the hat should be red, and the ones who believe the hat should be blue. It's Dwarf, really, isn't it?
You're not kidding? They were
So the
supposed to be
orange in
green.
that picture.
This is terrible. Holy wars, killing. They're just using religion as an excuse to be extremely crappy to each other.
So what else is new?
And while Lister has some pretty obviously bad qualities, he's a decent guy overall, and the deaths of all these people who, for some reason, looked up to him, understandably weighs pretty heavily on him.
I'm talking about the suffering. People died. I mean, cat people died.
I could have been God, you know, given a different start in life, given the lucky showbiz break you had.
And Rimmer spectacularly misses the point. Way to go.
Just wish I could meet them and explain and apologize.
Well, that would look spectacular, wouldn't it, Lister? God returns in all his splendor and says, sorry, it's all been a total cock-up.
But Rimmer has more important things going on.
Look, I'm sick of hearing about these stupid cats! I believe the Quagars!
Quagars?
Quagars! It's a name I made up, double A, actually. I believe the Quagars have the technology to give me a new body.
Lister goes looking for the cat.
Come on, kitty, kitty.
I love how he calls him. I could really go into some of the nuances of this whole owner-pet dynamic and how weird it is on the surface, but I'll save that for the cat videos.
Yep.
Anyway, it turns out that there's another cat on board after all. An old, dying, blind priest.
Burn the sacred hat.
I like how he has one dark hand, like how some cats have one black paw.
Burn it, it's the symbol of the lies.
As it turns out, he is having a crisis of faith and no longer believes
God,
in
the editing
Cloister.
is so bad on some of these.
Exist!
My editing, I mean, not the show's.
Is it truly him? Does he look like a king?
A king? Yeah.
I love the image of Lister threatening to decapitate the cat with a giant golden sausage.
How is that gonna work?
Truly is him. A failed.
Oh no, you didn't fail, old man.
Lister, of course, feels responsible for the fate of the cat people, so he does his best to make it up to at least one of them.
You mean there's a place for me on Fushao?
A place?
This scene actually gets to me a bit. Visually, it's ridiculous, but what is going on here is really deep.
The happiest day of my life.
Later, the garbage pod is opened and...
Incredible. The perfectly preserved remains of a Quagar warrior.
Really, Rimmer? Wait for it.
It's a garbage pod.
And again.
It's a smegging garbage pod!
And so ends Waiting for God.
That was a nice gag.
This was an episode where I was kind of surprised to learn that the creators don't like how it turned out.
Oh yeah.
And apparently a lot of the fans don't so much either. I guess I can kind of get it. This is the closest thing we've gotten so far to a cat episode, and he's hardly in it. Or at least he's not in it much more than previous episodes. Plus, Danny John Jules, the actor who plays the cat, feels that the cat is a big character, and the episode just didn't live up to what a cat episode could have been. And if I turn a really critical eye towards this scene, it is kind of weird. It's like it's too dramatic and heavy to be funny, but it's too silly and weird to be drama. It causes this weird reaction where you don't know how you're really supposed to take it. But I still like the scene. Despite its weirdness, I do find it moving, and I think it's pretty heartwarming that Lister comforts the priest during his final hour like this. It paints him as quite the noble character despite his faults. Also, being something of a cat fangirl and a cat lover in general, I like learning more about his race, even if he isn't featured in the episode as much as maybe he should have been. Going back to the garbage pod subplot, I also get a huge kick out of Rimmer's hypocrisy during this episode. He scoffs at God, but firmly believes in aliens, which I wouldn't necessarily disagree with, except that his beliefs regarding these aliens are so specific, and he believes in it so strongly that it pretty much becomes a religion, the exact thing he's mocking. This is one of those episodes that is surprisingly deep and thought-provoking, and it reminds me of why I love this show. Even Talkie Toaster has a few profound things to say. I don't think it's bashing religion or even religious people in general, so much as taking kind of a satirical look at how some people handle religion and how you don't have to be religious to treat something as a religion. Either way, this is probably not something you'd see on American TV, at least on a sitcom. Next up is Confidence and Paranoia. See you then.
Confidence and Paranoia.
You keep your underpants on coat hangers, don't you?
That's private!
Okay, Rimmer, okay.
There we go. There's a sitcom called Bottom. Rick Mayall starred in it along with Eddie. The difference between Bob 2 and 4 is that in 4, Blackadder instantly recognizes her as a woman. Oh, I actually got a comment on Twitch. Hi, Bougie Popu. First thing I hear is Talkie Toaster. Yeah, that's good timing. Welcome to the stream. They made Blackadder a historical comedy because Rowan Atkinson believed that John Cleese had perfected modern-day comedy with Fawlty Towers and it couldn't be topped. Interesting. Cat is so savage. Damn, it refreshed. There we go. I remember sending you that shot of Lister with his face on the glass being shown on the view screen of the Enterprise D. Oh yeah, I remember that. That was funny. I feel like cat people would have British accents. It would suit them, wouldn't it? Hi, Boogie. But it's pretty obvious pyramids didn't have to be built by aliens. Oh, yeah. For sure. That's just silly. Hi, Hershey. You're kind of late, but I'm just watching Red Dwarf episodes, so. Rather my Red Dwarf videos, not the whole episodes. Pyramids were built by farmers during the non-farming seasons. That's interesting. Why? Because Rimmer wants it. I love your commentary. Thank you. It's true, though. That's like the one thing Rimmer really wants is to see aliens. And of course it's not going to happen because Rimmer wants it. TV Tropes points out that if we were introduced to Rimmer via his backstory first, he would be more tragic than funny. That's a good point. Atheist girl vibes, yep. Oh, Rimmer, you don't know your wish to be God will eventually be granted. Yeah, that's pretty funny. The silliness that aliens built the pyramids is just so silly. Yeah. It's amazing how much the early Red Dwarf episodes look like and could be made into stage plays. That's true, yeah. Also, hi Jay, I don't think I saw you earlier. Lister's statement about religion sums up why I'm not religious. Yeah, same. Interesting how after all the generations have passed, religion is somewhat misinterpreted, yeah. Danny John Jules was in Blade 2. Yep, I actually watched Blade 2 just because I wanted to see him in it. Oops. Now, Dina, clearly the pyramids were already there and the ancient Egyptians took credit for them. Hi, Ash. I don't think I saw you before. The pyramids are just old Borg cubes that crashed into Earth at a funny angle. I like that theory. If we read by sniffing, what would Stephen King books smell like? Raw, uncut cocaine. Oh god, that's terrible. Just don't sniff Gerald's Game. Oh god. Red Dwarf is no longer on Netflix. It hasn't been for a while. It was how I originally watched it, but like shortly after that they took it down and it's never been back up. Awkwardly pulls at collar upon seeing Channel Awesome logo. Yeah, I kind of wish those weren't there, but I'm not going to go back and edit it out of all of these, obviously. Somebody's on Twitch, yay. Cat people act like cats look like people. I understood that reference. I can't remember if I told you, but I finished the official US. Oh, The Office US, all 9 seasons. Oh, that's cool. I guess you must have liked it if you watched all 9 seasons. I love The Office. I pretty much put it on whenever I go to bed every night. Comedy Central shows it most nights. I think on Wednesday they show South Park, and I think there might be some other day of the week when they don't show The Office, but... Oh, Query 5 has followed. Thanks, Query 5, if you're watching. Anybody can be God, even Goku managed to do it. Who has a bigger ego, Rimmer or Cat? That's a tough one. I guess Cat. It's really interesting for Red Dwarf to be set in a universe confirmed to have no aliens. The only thing out there is made by humans. Yeah. That's very different for sci-fi. Easily Cat. Rimmer's just more arrogant. That's a good way to explain it. Oh, another comment on Twitch. Hi, St. Clinton. I originally saw Red Dwarf on KTEH in the San Francisco area, which was years before Netflix started showing it. I've been told that apparently PBS shows it in some areas. I don't know if they ever showed it in mine, though. Actually, PBS is how I saw Blackadder. Okay, Shadow, thanks for stopping by. Hope to see you in a a later stream. I probably won't be streaming next week, but there's a brass eye bit where the joke is the pyramids are the ears of the giant cat heads built underground. I like that. Stephen King books smell like booze. Screw Netflix sometimes. Yeah, I hear that. An elephant with amnesia does not have a ton to think about. That's true. The Red Dwarf Project, the gripping, terrifying found footage of 3 men being driven insane by a 4th man with an H on his forehead. Excuse me. Rimmer's ego is far more fragile than Kat's, yeah. Any chance you do an episode guide like Red Dwarf for Being Human? I've never actually watched that, so for now, no. And I probably won't be doing any more of those episode vlogs since I work full-time now and don't really have time to do them. I hope to finish Alien Nation and Monsters at some point, but I probably will not be doing any new ones. Cat gets giddy just looking at his own reflection, and his perfect partner is himself, at least according to Camille. Then again, given Rimmer's attempts to replicate himself. That's true. First saw it on PBS back in the 90s. That's cool. Okay. Sorry. We still got an hour to go. Let's see how far we can get into this. This is still season 1. I think this might be the season 1 finale. I'm not sure. Oh no, Me Squared is, but I think that comes after this one. Yeah, 5.
I know, Carol. Dr. Graham told me everything.
So Lister is really into sappy romance.
That's funny. There's all kinds of weird coincidences. I was watching the episode of Star Trek The Next Generation yesterday where Data built another android. She was like his daughter, and he was having to teach her to do stuff. And there was a scene where she drinks water, as in she puts the water in her mouth, and then it just falls right back out of her mouth. I immediately thought of Lister in this scene.
Seriously, he is really engaged in that.
Off! I went to the officer's block.
When?
So Lister has gone into a room that hasn't been decontaminated yet.
You haven't done it yet.
Tomorrow. It's on tomorrow's daily goal list. Item 34, right after learn Portuguese.
Here we get our first mention of Yvonne Magruder. Rimmer's first.
That's how I
and
drink.
only.
What about Yvonne Magruder? That was a date.
She'd been hit on the head
Keep
by
that
a
in
wind.
mind,
She
Jay.
had concussion.
It's got some unfortunate implications, but I think the story changes over time anyway.
Yeah.
She still went to bed with me.
Yeah, because she had wonky vision and she thought you were somebody else.
Yikes.
Serves her up for being concussed, doesn't it?
Lister wakes up to find that he has a very high fever.
I'm going down to the medical unit.
Lights. Ah, Miss Magruder, where were we?
I'll talk about it more in another video where I talk about the cat separately, but this scene right here is my first experience with Red Dwarf, and part of what led me to watching it the first time.
Except that bit. I don't want that bit. But all the rest of this is mine.
Seriously though, if you know someone who is a cat lover and you want to get them into Red Dwarf, show them this scene.
Oh, yeah!
It took me a while to catch on to it, but Lister totally corpses in this scene.
Time for a snack.
So Rimmer needs to help Lister up, but he can't do anything because, well, he's a hologram, and Cat is too busy being Cat to help, so they have to rely on the Scudders.
On the ice!
Lister has what would have been pneumonia, except that the virus has mutated over millions of years, so they don't know what it is or what it's going to do. It turns out that Lister had gone into Kachansky's room to think about what could have been.
She could have said, no, you're a filthy, stinking, loathsome, disgusting object. I wouldn't be seen dead within a plague pit.
You said yes, stranger things have happened.
Only 2 spring to mind, Lister. The spontaneous combustion of the mayor of Warsaw in 1546, and that incident in 12th century Burgundy when it rained herring.
So now Lister is thinking about 3 things. Conflicting emotions about how things would have gone with Kachansky had he asked her out, spontaneous combustion, and raining fish. That's going to be important in a few minutes.
Now release the mechanism.
Incoming slapstick in 3, 2... I think Rimmer enjoyed that a bit.
Possibly a gnats more gently than that?
Raining fish, check. Spontaneous combustion of the mayor of Warsaw, check.
It really is going to be one of those days. You started to hallucinate. Only your hallucinations were solid.
Solid?
Solid.
Mean they were solid?
Okay, I'll put it another way. You had hallucinations, right?
Yeah?
And they were solid.
Thanks for that explanation, Rimmer.
And then you hallucinated two men in the drive room. Apparently, one of them's your confidence, and the other's your paranoia.
Title drop.
You're my confidence. I just love that accent. It makes me go all wibbly.
Ditto. I love Lister's accent. And Lister's confidence and paranoia. Check.
Isn't that a urine stain on the front of your trousers?
So Lister's confidence is similar to an American game show host with really white teeth, and his paranoia is this creepy little guy.
Say hello then, won't you? Only trying to be friendly.
I think we should arrest them.
What for?
For being hallucinations.
Rimmer has...
Yeah, I regret that I didn't recognize Craig Ferguson here. I'm not super familiar with him. Like, I remember him from the Drew Carey show, and I know he had a talk show for a bit, but I never watched the talk show, so, like, I'm not super familiar with him, but, like, without, like, the tan and him doing an American accent, I think I would have recognized him, probably.
That's all the answers.
Now I know what the H stands for. Idiot. Am I right?
You are treading
Idiot.
a very thin line, Milano.
Also, I think mulatto is my favorite common Rimmerism.
Mulatto.
You never listen to Mr. Rimmer. He's so much more experienced, more level-headed, so much better than you.
I think it's really interesting that Lister's paranoia sides with Rimmer. Says some interesting things about Lister and how maybe deep down, maybe some small part of him thinks that Rimmer is better than he is. Or at least he takes Rimmer's criticisms to heart more than he lets on. A bit later, Confidence convinces Lister to find where Rimmer hid the personality disc so he could bring Kachansky back as a hologram. I'm still really surprised that the show doesn't touch on how pointless that would be. I know Lister is dumb as a brick in these earlier episodes, but I can't believe that Rimmer wouldn't bring up the fact that romancing a hologram would just be an exercise in futility. Meanwhile, Rimmer is with paranoia.
Now, stab him! Stab him! Stab him! Quick, stab him! You haven't met Stab him.
Real smooth there, Rimmer.
Stab him, meet Lister's paranoia. Lister's paranoia, this is Stab him.
I love how the Scudder quickly drops the syringe. You almost have to look for it to notice it sometimes, but those little robots have so much personality.
I used that clip in my my video where I covered the first Halloween movie, because there's at least 3 different times where Laurie picks up a knife and then drops it.
We can get Kachansky back without turning you off. All we're going to do is turn off all unnecessary power
Actually,
systems,
twice.
and the Holly says it'll work. Ding dong, another great idea from the people who brought you beer, milkshakes.
I love the light bulb. Like, how far ahead did he plan that little gag?
Lister, you're not having her disc or any disc.
Come on, King, you know Rimmer. Where would he hide them?
So Lister figures out where Rimmer hid the discs.
And they'd have to be right under my nose so he could laugh at me.
Wrong and getting wronger all the time.
The solar panel outside our sleeping quarters.
You followed me, you goit.
And a bit later, Rimmer
You
finds the
goit.
medical unit destroyed and paranoia missing.
You will not be better until they've gone. They know that.
That's kind of a
His
red
teeth are
flag,
blinding
but
him.
Lister chooses to ignore it.
We waiting for, King? Nothing.
So Lister and his confidence go outside the ship
Did you hear something? Nope. In space, no one can hear you. Cha-cha-cha.
because there weren't enough references to Alien already on this show.
Yeah.
And it turns out that confidence killed paranoia.
I killed him. Cha-cha-cha.
What you mean? You killed him? Cha-cha-cha?
And pretty brutally.
I just fed him into the waste grinder and flushed his mints into space.
Gets a little bit hot. I get a bit claustrophobic in these suits.
And finally, Lister notices that red flag.
Take your helmet off.
I'll die.
I'll prove it to you. I'll take mine off first.
And it turns out that too much confidence can be a bad thing. So much for confidence. So Lister has the disc, and Rimmer gives him fair warning.
I want it on record. That disc is a one-way ticket to Miseryville.
Oh, you have no idea, Rimmer. Well, at least he dressed up for the occasion. Seriously, look at that tie.
Almost didn't notice that. His
You
shirt's so
honestly
colorful.
think I'd put Kachansky's disc in Kachansky's box where any munchkin could find it?
This is like that rare episode of Tom and Jerry where Tom wins at the end. I love it.
Welcome aboard, Rimsey.
So ends confidence and paranoia. This is another filler episode up until the end, but it's a lot of fun. It says interesting things about Lister, that his image of confidence is an American game show host with a tan and blindingly
Look at
white
all
teeth.
those rings.
And his image of paranoia is like ultra Rimmer. Fun fact, the actor who played Confidence was Scottish, very Scottish.
When I say nobody calls me faggot, Craig calls me faggot.
He just did a really convincing American accent. And the guy who played Paranoia was originally, appropriately, a runner-up to play Rimmer. There isn't much else to say about this one. The idea of one's clashing personality traits coming to life as characters is interesting, but it's really more funny than thought-provoking. This is a rare early Red Dwarf episode where the end leads into the next episode, so next time we get double the Rimmer.
Suit Cat's
Next
wearing.
up is Me Squared, which is also the final episode of Season 1. See you then.
Holly, put a trace on paranoia.
What's a trace?
It's space jargon. It means find him.
No, it doesn't. You just made it up to be cool.
Oh, a couple more comments on Twitch. KTEH had a sci-fi night, so I got to see Red Dwarf, Blake 7, Star Cops, Space 1999, The Prisoner, and other shows. I think I only know a couple of those. They were great at showing stuff from the UK. That's cool. Lister's Confidence looks like Stan from the Monkey Island games. I'm not really familiar with those. I know of them, but I haven't played them. Whenever we talked about Red Dwarf at home, the one scene my dad was always guaranteed to mention is the one where Holly gets Lister to erase Agatha Christie from his memory. Yeah, that's a good bit. I love that line. It really is going to be one of those days. Yeah, that was a great reaction. Confidence went on to flirt with American actresses on a chat show for a living. Eventually, yeah. I thought he was American the first time I saw this as well. And Paranoia did characters like that for most of his career. That's funny. Paranoia turns up in the episode of Blackadder 4 where Blackadder gets sentenced to death for shooting a pigeon. He's one of the lovely firing squad that meet him in his cell. I need to go back and watch the Blackadder shows again sometime. I watch Blackadder's Christmas Carol every year, but I haven't watched the main series in ages. I remember being caught out by that stab him clip when I watched the Halloween video a couple months back. If one's milkshake brings all the boys to the yard, whose does beer milkshake bring and where? Good point. Yeah, I loved Confidence's grin as well and the way it distracts Rimmer. That was funny. Confidence killing Paranoia. I guess there is maybe a little bit of symbolism in that. If this was a horror show, there would be a ton of blood. Yeah. Paranoid appropriately had an alien-style death, I suppose. Oh, yeah. I love the comparison to Tom and Jerry. Yeah, I'd forgotten I said that. Oh, hi, Bloodgrass25 over on Twitch. Pretty sure I read that Craig Charles took a whack from the debris of the Confidence explosion. That sounds familiar. I think maybe I've heard that too. Okay, Kai, thanks for stopping by. I know, Teeny Tara. I love being able to giggle at all this again. Yeah, it's fun. Paranoid the world's out to get him. He must be a Rimmer. For some reason, us Brits are really good at doing American accents, but not the other way around. That's true. Well, except Robert Llewellyn, his American accent isn't very good. It's partly why it's so funny to me. Anyone else think that there was a few times Tom won where he really shouldn't have? Not really. I mean, it didn't happen very often. I can't... I feel like there's probably maybe one or two instances, but not many. He usually deserved it. Dina laughed at a pun. Time for the happy dance. I don't even remember what pun I laughed at. How did you like Halloween Ends? I was a little disappointed. I plan on giving it another chance, though, before I fully make up my mind about it. Oh, Tara, you're such a butt. As a big fan of both horror and British comedy... Oh, hi, Chiggins. I don't think I saw you before. As a big fan of both horror and British comedy, I highly recommend The League of Gentlemen, Psychoville, and Inside Number 9. I'll keep that in mind. Yeah, Tara's just, like, constantly rubbing on my legs right now. Every time I do a British accent, I always end up using govna somewhere. Tom really had to earn his occasional wins, yeah. I know there are plenty of times where Jerry shouldn't have won. There are times when it feels justified, but... There are some episodes where Jerry just is a total asshole to Tom the entire time, and then he wins in the end, and I'm like, well, that's unsatisfying. I don't think Crichton's accent is supposed to be anything other than unique. I don't know. I feel like he's trying to do an American accent, or at least maybe in the beginning he was. It may have morphed into something else. Watch a govna. Red Dwarf Dictionary. It's also funny that people are complaining about a female Pinhead when the original source material has Pinhead as a feminine figure. I think the only people complaining about that are, like, man babies who have never even really watched Hellraiser that much. They just don't want to see women in anything.
Arnold J. Rimmer tribute. What's this?
It's a video of my death.
So did you have a few people round give them a sherry and invite them to watch you snuff it?
Lister, my death
Invite
is
them
one of
to
the
watch
most
you
important
snuff it.
things that ever happened to me.
For a universe where dead people are brought back as holograms, that actually makes a weird kind of sense. Well, since Rimmer basically has a clone now, he's decided to move out of the room he shared with Lister and move in with the other Rimmer. Only good things can come from that, since it's totally Lister's fault that Rimmer never got anywhere in life.
Everything you ever did was designed to
I'm
hold
gonna
me
get as far
back
into
and annoy
this
me.
as I was
Obviously.
hoping.
The point is, you've always stopped me
Tara.
being successful. That's a scientific fact.
Rimmer, you can't blame me for your lousy life.
Oh, yes, I can. I'll be along the
He
link.
can and he will.
I always wonder if other Red Dwarf fans catch this.
What a guy.
Dimension Jump doesn't happen until season 4. Do you think it's possible that the writers already were planning for it that far ahead? Could be coincidence. If it is, it's a pretty amusing one.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Rimmer.
Goit.
So Lister is celebrating finally getting the room to himself. By the way, as a nice bit of continuity, whatever song he's humming is the same one he was humming in the pilot episode.
Lister, shut up!
Much as I love Lister, and it
Lister,
might just
shut
be
up.
my OCD talking, but in Rimmer's defense, I can see how Lister could be difficult to live with. Not that Rimmer is any easier to live with, I'm sure.
Video of Rimmer's death.
Anyway, Lister comes across the video of Rimmer's
That's a
death,
rectangular
which apparently
shaped
got
video.
left behind on accident.
The final moments of Arnold J. Rimmer.
Yes.
That's a bit twisted.
I guess it's season 2 and they become triangles.
See if you can guess the running theme in this episode.
Gazpacho soup. Why were his last words gazpacho soup?
Meanwhile, Rimmer is exercising. Poor Chris Berry, he must have passed
She wants
out
me to
after
play with her
filming this.
string. All
Rimmer
right.
is very hard on himself, so to speak.
Brilliant! That extra little bit, that's what it's all about.
Better than sex.
Later that morning, Lister wonders what Rimmer and other Rimmer would have to talk about.
We reminisce, chew over old times, past glories, old girlfriends.
Oh, you mean Yvonne Magruder?
There's Yvonne Magruder again. Maybe I should start a second counter. Speaking of which, they've gone 2 whole episodes without mentioning
Ow,
Pearson.
careful.
That's gotta be a record.
Just trying to get
And
her
here
string
comes
and
one
she
of my
got
favorite
leg.
Rimmerisms.
All you need to know about Yvonne Magruder is, I gave her one.
Also, remember that gesture. It gets repeated a couple more times in later episodes. Also, gazpacho soup comes up again.
But why gazpacho soup?
That, Lister, is something you will never ever know.
Arnold, you asked me to remind you when it was time for your Esperanto revision.
Also Esperanto. It's kind of a second language in this show. Fun fact, with the way filming is done, a prop person had to blow that bubble ahead of time. So Craig Charles had to put ABC gum in his mouth for this scene. So, are you ready to discover just how messed up Rimmer is?
No wonder Father hated you.
You're a filthy, smegging, lying, smegging liar.
Face facts, man. Nobody liked you. Not even Mummy.
Mummy did like me. Mummy was just busy.
Now grow up, Mr. Gazpacho!
Mr. What?
I said Mr. Gazpacho! Deafy!
I love that there are scutters there just watching the show. It gets so bad, Rimmer actually has to go back to Lister's room just to get away from himself.
Shut up, you dead git!
Making fun of Rimmer for being
Shut up,
dead
you
is kind
dead
of a
git.
berserk button for him. Also,
stop your foul whining, you filthy piece of distended rectum!
Best insult award goes to Rimmer.
Yep.
There's no point in concealing it anymore. Rimmer and me, we've had a bit of a tiff.
Sometime later, they're watching Citizen Kane, or the cartoon running before Citizen Kane, I guess.
That's Citizen Kane, all right. Unmistakable.
And the Rimmer bickering continues.
Will you two guys just grow up?
Two? I think there's only one immature person around here. We all know who it is.
If nothing else, Red Dwarf taught me a new way to give someone the finger. So this whole dueling Rimmers thing has gotten out of hand, so Lister announces that one of them has to be shut off. And he chooses the original Rimmer. Ouch.
If you'd have given me Kachansky's hologram, none of this would have happened. You made the bed, you lie in it, drive room, 10 minutes.
The other Rimmer wanted to watch, but Lister kicks him out.
Don't forget to write.
Yeah, great Nancy. I'll have a whiskey. Straight. With ice and lemonade, a cherry and a slice of lemon.
Interesting seeing how a hologram drinks.
And another. Make it a double.
So now that Rimmer knows he's about to be shut off, he finally tells the gazpacho soup story.
I'd been invited to the captain's table. I'd only been with the company 14 years.
Only 14 years. What an accomplishment.
We had gazpacho soup for starters. I didn't know gazpacho soup was meant to be served cold, and I told him to take it away and bring it back hot. The looks on their faces still haunt me today.
He tells it like it's such a harrowing tale. Well, in the world of Rimmer, it is.
I never ate at the captain's table again. That was the end of my career.
Typical Rimmer, always an excuse for his failures. Earlier it was Lister, and now it's gazpacho soup. Yikes.
If only just once they'd said gazpacho soup is served cold, I could have been an admiral by now. I bet Todd Hunter was served gazpacho soup the moment he was on solids. No, I bet he was breastfed with it. One side gazpacho soup, the other side freely dispensing chilled champagne.
Nice visual.
I've already done it. I wiped the other one.
Cat's little giggle there kills me. That is just too damn cute. So yeah, he had the second Rimmer turned off. He lied about it to get the original Rimmer to tell the gazpacho soup story.
Rimmer.
Rimmer is horrified, but Lister promises that he'll never joke about this.
Let's go for another drink.
Super.
And so ends Me Squared. This is one of my favorite episodes. Rimmer is my second favorite character
there you go.
after
There's
the
the
cat,
answer.
and any episode that gives us a comically terrifying look into his totally fucked up psyche is generally one I enjoy. And this was the first, but definitely not the last. It's not even the last episode that basically has two Rimmers in it. What is it about Rimmer? He's such a crass, mean-spirited asshole, but at the same time he's sympathetic and weirdly lovable. Plus his dialogue is always so cleverly written. They sneak in so many weird little sayings like Milado and Tickety-Boo. Toodly Pipsky is probably my favorite.
Toodly Pipsky.
But yeah, in universe, everyone hates Rimmer, especially Rimmer. Seriously, some of the insults he uses against himself are cringe-inducing, as he knows where all his own weak spots are. His parents didn't love him, he's dead, and of course the infamous gazpacho soup incident. And no Red Dwarf fan will ever look at gazpacho soup the same way again. Just remember that it's served cold and you'll be fine. Well, this is the end of Season 1. Thanks for sticking with me so far.
I seem to recall there's a Red Dwarf fan site called gazpachosoup.com.
Next up will be the first episode of Season 2, Crichton. See you then.
You're kidding.
April Fool.
God, Holly looks awful in Season 1.
It's not April.
Yeah, I know, but I could hardly wait 6 months with a red-hot jape like that under my belt.
I'm so utterly confused about Michael Myers. He's meant to be a Lovecraftian alien. He's just human-shaped or what? Nobody knows. Yeah, I remember the scene with Jerry sticking pins into that box that Tom was hiding in. Yeah, somebody posted that on Twitter recently, and that's actually kind of hard to watch. I thought it's meant to be Canadian. Well, I mean, it doesn't sound like it doesn't sound Canadian either, so. Hi, MCWDD. Show up right when covering one of my favorite episodes. There used to be an A to Z of Red Dwarf book years ago. I still have mine. It's a bit tattered though. I thought that was a British term for a second. It's a bit tatted. Yeah, I've heard of that, actually. I couldn't remember what it was called. Talkie Toaster with his own talk show. If I remember rightly, one of the novelizations has the full song for that song Lister is humming. I think I think I remember hearing it in one of the audiobooks. I remember the third book explains how Lister became Spanners in Ace's universe. Oh, that's interesting. Because Ace became a test pilot, Lister had a different bunkmate in Red Dwarf who encouraged him to study mechanics. Oh, okay. Pretty sure the Australian broadcast had the score changed, but we had a few things changed over here. So much great backstory in the books, not sure how much of it the writers used to inform the characters and what was added after the fact. Fun fact, when Red Dwarf reruns in Australia, there's a unique opening used for seasons 1 through 3. I actually prefer it to the official openings for seasons 1 and 2. That's interesting. I remember "Stop Your Foul Whining, You Filthy Piece of Distended Rectum" being used in a sample in an old dance track years ago. That's so funny. I would have died if I randomly heard that in a song. I want that Rimmer shouting clip. It could come in handy on the internet. Yeah. You could tell they made the Muggs Murphy animation just for this episode. Half the animation is just the bang effect. Yeah, it's true. Of all the things that could have happened, this is the worst possible thing. Does sound a little bit like Rarity. Super ruffle. Good ending to the first series. Have you ever played the game Stray, Dina? I don't. I have it. I keep meaning to play it. I remember my younger sister used to hear Gimboid as Gimp Boy. I think someone else heard it. Someone else I know heard it that way too. Crichton is a fantastic start to season 2, yeah. In the book, Rimmer turns up to the officer's meal having hired an escort to be his +1, but she's a no-show and rips him off. He arrives at the meal alone and panics when asked why and says she's dead. Rimmer does give the best insults. I saw someone take clips from Tomb Raider and replace Chris Berry's lines as the butler with Rimmer ordering Laura around, and the context changes to Laura flat out refusing to listen to him. That sounds awesome. I need to see that. Okay, Hershey, thanks for stopping by. The Rimmer episode reminds me of the one in Star Trek The Next Generation where we find out that there was another Riker trapped on a planet. Oh, yeah. I love when he showed up on Voyager. That's pretty funny. The second Riker, I mean. Thomas Riker.
As the days go by, we face the increasing inevitability that we are alone in a godless, uninhabited, hostile and meaningless universe. Still, you've got to laugh, haven't you?
Pretty much Red Dwarf in a nutshell. So, welcome to Season 2 of Red Dwarf, which surprisingly starts off outside the ship and away from our main characters on the ship called the Nova 5.
Oh yeah, I forgot it started with Crichton.
So apparently in the future there are soap operas made by androids, for androids, and starring androids.
What about Brooke Jr.?
He isn't your android.
Sounds a little like Rita Tickle.
So, yeah, not that much worse than our current human ones. Meanwhile, on Red Dwarf, Rimmer is trying to learn Esperanto.
Yeah, someone had to point out to me that that's a parody of a specific British show called Neighbours, I think.
But Lister seems to be picking it up a lot quicker.
Time. Please, can you direct me to a 5-star hotel?
Wrong, actually. Totally, utterly, and completely wrong.
Please, could you direct me to a 5-star hotel?
Also, we learned that Lister went to art college for like 5 minutes.
I mean, it was ridiculous. They had lectures like first thing in the afternoon.
Soon afterwards, Holly tells them that they're getting a signal.
Aliens.
No, Rimmer, it's not aliens. It's never going to be aliens. It turns out to be a distress call.
Thank goodness.
So meet Crichton. He's a service android from the Nova 5, which has crashed at some point. All of the men on board are dead, and the only survivors are 3 women. How convenient. Also, here's what they look like, because that's important.
By God, we'll rescue these fair blooms, or my name's not Captain A.J. Rimmer, space adventurer.
Wow, shades of Ace Rimmer there.
What am I supposed to say? Fear not, I'm the bloke who used to clean the gunk out of the chicken soup machine. Actually, we know sod all about space travel, but if you've got a blocked nozzle, we're your lads.
Much as I'm trying not to focus on Kat, here's a memorable line that I couldn't get away with skipping over.
Yeah, I'm so excited, all 6 of my nipples are tingling.
The look on Rimmer's face just puts a nice cap on it.
We're on a mission of mercy. We're taking them urgently needed medical supplies. We're not on the pull.
Cut to montage of Lister getting ready. Yeah, I don't want to think about why his sock was all stiff. So much ew. An interesting solution to having burned a hole in your pants with the iron. Also, the t-shirt he's wearing has Muggs Murphy on it from the cartoon they were watching in Me Squared. He also wore another Muggs Murphy shirt in that episode, but I missed it then. And then there's Rimmer. Gotta love how each has his own very different version of getting dressed up.
You're really trying, aren't you? You're wearing all your least smeggy things.
So apparently Lister has a habit of putting Rimmer down in front of any women they meet, so Rimmer calls him out on it.
It's always the same when we meet girls. Put me down and make yourself look good. Just don't put me down when we meet them.
Okay, what do you want me to say? How do you want me to act?
Or what about the nickname I had at school?
What, Bonehead?
I didn't mean that. I meant the other one.
What other one?
Ace.
Another early reference to Ace Rimmer.
Maybe Ace Hole.
I'm trying to say build me up, don't put me down. Don't go ape, just sort of mention perhaps that I died and that I was pretty incredibly brave about it. I mean, you know, perhaps you could just hint that I've had tons of girlfriends.
Yeah, this conversation is going to come up again later. Back on the Nova 5.
Do eat nicely, Miss Anne. What on earth will the visitors think if they see you eating like that?
Yeah, Crichton's definitely not all there. So they take Blue Midget, one of Red Dwarf's shuttlecrafts, to the Nova 5, where Crichton greets them.
Carvita! Ah, vi parolas Esperanton, Capitano Rimmer.
Come again?
You speak Esperanto, Captain Rimmer.
Oh, si, jawohl, oui.
And they meet the remaining crew of the Nova 5.
Well, I leave you to get acquainted. I'll just go and fix some tea.
Our first contact with intelligent life in 3,000,002 years, and it's the android version of Norman Bates.
I don't know whether it's the time or place to say this, but my mate Ace here is incredibly brave.
Well, you did ask him to do it, Rimmer.
And he's got just tons and tons of girlfriends.
I'm warning you, Lister.
Best line in this episode goes to Crichton.
They are dead. They're all dead.
My God. Well, I was only away 2 minutes. You're that sure they're dead?
There's a simple test. All right, girls, hands up those of you who are alive.
Poor Crichton.
What am I going to do?
So they take Crichton back to Red Dwarf with them, but he has lost his sense of purpose, so...
I was created to serve. I serve, therefore I am.
Rimmer has him doing various chores around the ship, but Lister doesn't approve.
Come on, there must be something you look forward to.
Androids. Androids. Everybody needs good androids.
Good luck getting that song out of your head. Crichton admits that when he's asleep, he has dreams.
My favorite one is that I'm in a garden and I've planted everything and made it grow. And there's no one there but me, just me and all the things I made live. Silly.
Aww.
Find a planet with an atmosphere and do it.
But Crichton can't get past his programming that tells him that he can only be a servant and can't do anything just for the fun of it. Besides, Rimmer gave him a ton of things to do.
What?
Mr. Arnold is my master now.
Mr. Arnold isn't his name. His name's Rimmer. Or Smeghead. And on a very rare occasion when you want to be, like, really mega polite to him, you can call him arsehole.
There's something you'll never hear on an American sitcom.
Drop dead, Rimmer.
Already have done.
Encore.
So despite Lister encouraging Crichton to do his own
Drop
thing
dead. Already have
trying
done.
to inspire him by showing him Marlon Brando movies, Crichton seems to be stubbornly continuing to follow Rimmer's orders. But then we see what he's actually painting.
What are you doing?
I think I'm rebelling.
What are you rebelling against?
What do you got? I need your bike.
You got it?
And there's something you'll never see on an American sitcom. Cat approves. And so ends Crichton. So this was an interesting way to introduce a new character, despite that he disappears from the show until the next season. Crichton was played by David Ross here, but later on he'll be played, of course, by Robert Llewellyn for the rest of the series. So naturally when the subject of Crichton comes up, that's the version of the character that people think of. And I'm no exception for the most part, but I want to point out that I do also like David Ross's version. I mean, I love Robert Llewellyn along with his own quirky take on Crichton, but David Ross brings a kind of almost childlike innocence to the character that is missing in the later version. I love the part where he's talking about his dream of growing a garden. I almost want to tear up at how wistful he sounds. Of course, his rebellion against Rimmer is somewhat retconned when he returns in Season 3, but oh well. That can be explained by Season 3's opening, which I'll address when I get there. Next up is Better Than Life. See you then.
We're a bit short on a few supplies.
Like what?
Cow's milk.
Oh.
Ran out of that yonks ago.
What kind of milk are we using now?
Emergency backup supply. We're on the dog's milk. Lasts longer than any other type of milk, dog's milk.
Why?
No bugger or drink it.
No bugger or drink it. There we go. All right, let me get caught up on the chat really quick. We're not going to get as far into this as I had hoped. I was hoping we'd at least get through Season 2, but it looks like we're only going to get maybe halfway through Season 2, if that. Time to get reused to Crichton being played by a different actor. Oh, you missed the original Crichton episode, so Season 3 was very confusing. That reminds me of what Part 2 in the novel. Part 2 in the novel was titled Alone in a Godless Forsaken Universe and Out of Shakes and Vac. Or Shake and Vac. Another great British sitcom is The British Empire. Yeah, the one Chris Berry's in. I know of it. I've never seen it. Sounds kind of interesting. One of the androids, what about Brooke Jr., was voiced by Tony Slattery, who also played the Alert Alert Dalek voiced chocolate dispenser in Season 8. That's interesting. Ace Hole, that was good. Cat spacesuit is the stuff of legend. Yeah, for better or for worse. Excuse me. Why are these my boxers? These bend. Neighbors is an Australian soap. Okay, yeah, I think I heard that actually. I wonder what the rest of the season would have been like. A series would have been like with this Crichton actor. Yeah. That'd be an interesting alternate universe. Yeah, Kat just found that so funny. He's like Data, but with more sass. Yeah, particularly the David Ross one. Has the same sort of story arc as Data for a while, that's true. It's amazing how much Crichton's makeup improved just from series 2 to 3, yeah. Hi, Mikey. These Red Dwarf vlogs you did are what brought me to the channel. They are absolute class. Thank you. Yeah, some people, yeah, I helped some people discover Red Dwarf, but some people discovered my channel through the Red Dwarf videos, so that's kind of funny. Another thing you'd never see on American TV, the fingers held up, aka the reverse peace sign, mainly because it doesn't mean anything over there. Well, yeah. Rimmer in Silent Hill. Aliens! Fun fact, the British V sign insult comes from a war against France years ago. Whenever a British longbowman was captured, they cut off the first 2 fingers so he couldn't use his bow anymore. I've heard that. I don't know if it's true, but it's interesting. What series are we on currently? We're just starting 2. Or we just started 2. I forgot. Crichton. Yeah, Crichton was season 2. Hi, Taijan. Oh, Styx is back. I didn't notice who was asking that question. There's an episode of Buffy the Vampire Slayer where Spike does that, and it's unblurred, so you can see it. I already knew what it means, so it was funny to see it. Yeah, I completely didn't get that until somewhat recently. I happened to be watching the episode. I'm like, oh, he's doing this. Except he just does it like that, but... I discovered Red Dwarf on PBS. Yeah, I think a lot of Americans did. Rimmer would get the UFO ending. There you go. Oh, hi, Bloodgrass25 on Twitch. I don't think I noticed you before. Didn't think we'd be reviewing your reviews of Red Dwarf. Rimmer's Silent Hill would have to be no aliens in it just to piss him off. There you go. Is a mouth spray for dry mouth? It's because my throat gets sore when I talk a lot. I probably use more of it than I should, but it's only, I usually just use it when I'm streaming. Sometimes when I'm about to have a meeting at work.
Take 1 teaspoonful. For acute indigestion, take 2.
Wow.
So Rimmer is trying his hand at cooking, but naturally
that's a California license plate on the wall. I think I mentioned that later.
Lie on the scutters.
You say, keep an eye on that lamb. And they do. They sit there for 3 hours and watch it burn.
Gotta love those scutters. Anyway, the mail
John
has
Wayne
arrived.
fan club.
Friday the 13th, part 1649.
I love that about 80s media. Due to the oversaturation of movie sequels, they joked that in the future the movies they'd been watching would still be around but have like hundreds of sequels. See the Jaws 19 gag in Back to the Future 2 for another example. Oh, and VHS tapes would still be around, only triangular for some reason.
Look, Casablanca, they've remade Casablanca. Philistines. I mean, how can you remake Casablanca? The one starring Myra Binglebat and Peter Beardsley was definitive.
That, however, was oddly prophetic. There's also a year's worth of news broadcasts and some total immersion video games.
Well, they're computer games, aren't they? But electrodes are inserted into your frontal lobes and hypothalamus, right? So you actually feel as though you're really, really there.
As Lister continues to go through the mail, he comes across a tax bill.
8,500.
Oh, I'm tight, and you're going to pay for that, eh?
Well, I'm not. It's yours.
What?
Relax. Doesn't matter now. I'm not going to catch you now, are they?
What do you mean? Just because we're 3 million years into deep space and the human species is extinct? That means nothing to these people.
George.
They'll find us. God, I'll be worrying about this all the time now.
He also comes across a letter from Rimmer's mum.
Dear Rimmer.
Mum.
Is this from your mum?
That's Mumsy.
I write to inform you that your father is Dad.
His mom calls him Rimmer.
My father is dead.
What?
My father is dead!
Your father's dead, Rimmer?
Nice one, Lister.
Oh, way?
So, it's been 3 million years, so obviously everyone they knew is dead. But getting the letter about it still hits Rimmer kind of hard.
You must have been pretty close.
Close? I hated him. I detested his fat, stupid guts, the pop-eyed balding git.
Pop-eyed balding
And
git.
are you ready to discover more about just how messed up Rimmer is, and why? Well, his dad didn't make it into the Space Corps due to being slightly too short, so he became obsessed with his kids joining the Space Corps, and he racked them so the height thing wouldn't be an issue.
Jesus.
At mealtimes, he'd ask us questions on astronavigation. If we got them wrong, no food. And I nearly died of malnutrition.
Oh my god. This is a comedy, right?
That doesn't mean to say I didn't respect him, didn't look up to him. It was only natural, it was my father.
The scene is so heavy, I almost don't even know what to say about it.
I wanted him to be proud of me. Just once. And now...
Yeah, I hate to say it, but Rimmer's reaction to Kat here kind of reflects my own. I love him to death, but he really killed the mood there.
I'm so hungry, I just have to eat. Rimmer's dad's died. I prefer chicken.
Wow. Groovy Channel 27. They actually referenced that in future echoes.
When was the last time you saw a dead newsreader?
Channel 27, have a hologram reading the news.
Oh, groovy, funky Channel 27.
And you'll notice that the host is a hologram.
Listen. Pause!
Rimmer and the cat don't interact much, but whenever the cat does something weird or annoying, watch Rimmer. His expression is usually hilarious.
Techno news, the new sensation sweeping the solar system is the total immersion video game Better Than Life.
Title drop.
Better Than Life is able to detect all your desires and fantasies and then make them come true.
Suddenly, Rimmer is joining them.
Brilliant!
That's vaguely disturbing. So they enter the game, which conveniently looks completely lifelike due to it being in the future, and this is a low-budget show.
It's true.
Rimmer is a Napoleon fanboy. I think that's all that needs to be said there.
Gentlemen, welcome to Better Than Life.
So it turns out that there's a restaurant only a few miles away, and they can get there however they want. So, naturally, Lister and the cat ditch Rimmer. Nice. The thing about Better Than Life is that you can't tell it what you think you want. It digs things out of your subconscious. Spoiler, this is gonna prove a problem for Rimmer.
Magruder!
Oh god, it's Yvonne Magruder again. I think that's the 3rd time she's come up. At the restaurant, Lister orders caviar vindaloo.
I never thought I'd see the day when I could eat something as classy as this, you know.
And chugs champagne from a beer mug. Classy indeed.
It's a good year.
Ha! The host just did the Rimmer salute. I don't think I caught that before.
I was driving along, and suddenly there was Magruder.
Rimmer, you can touch things.
I know. Why do you think I was so late?
And there's that gesture again. And there's the salute again.
Admiral Rimmer, sir.
Shortly afterward, Rimmer gets a sudden invitation. Yeah, just remember not to have your gazpacho soup heated this time.
Do excuse me.
I suspect that Rimmer's always wanted to do that. Meanwhile, at the captain's table...
Well, I can't actually remember exactly what I said to him, but it was one of the most enormously cruel and frighteningly witty put-downs ever.
Sir, I know it's the most awful bore, but would you mind just signing this?
My Incredible Career by Admiral A.J. Rimmer.
There you go, laddo.
Don't show any outtakes here.
Gosh, I'll be the envy of the Academy.
By the way, there's a great outtake for this bit.
Gosh, I'll be the envy of the Academy.
You certainly will, you little git.
I love it when they stay in character between takes and during parts where their voice isn't going to be used. And there's Rimmer's dad.
Father.
Son.
Yes?
I just wanted to say, you're a total snakehead.
This isn't my fantasy.
No, it's mine.
Was that payback for pinching his cheek earlier? I bet it was. Either way, that's only the beginning. And now he and Yvonne Magruder have 6 kids and she's about to pop out another one.
My brain's rebelled. It just won't accept nice things happening to me.
Oh yeah.
It just keeps fantasizing the horribleness.
Mr. Arnold Judas Rimmer.
Oh wow, I think that's the first time we've heard Rimmer's middle name. Yes, on top of everything else, his middle name is Judas. But they don't actually address why until season 10. And remember that letter about the tax he owed and the irrational fear he had about someone coming after him for it? And it gets worse.
Where's all my money gone?
Oh no, I just fantasized it all away.
And worse still.
A huge black furry spider with big teeth just crawled up the trouser leg.
I know, I just put it there.
Still going.
Our faces have been smeared with jam. We're about to be eaten alive by killer ants.
So they end the game, and as they're leaving...
I did. What was still in the game?
Too bad I should just show that clip long enough that you could see that one of them was Holly. And there was like jam smeared on the monitor.
Turns out they're still in the game after all.
Now where's those little thummies?
And so ends Better Than Life.
Those little thummies.
Good lord, does it ever suck to be Rimmer. He just never gets a break. As for Better Than Life, it also showed up in one of the Red Dwarf novels with the same name. It was obviously toned down a lot and simplified for this episode, but in the novel the game was so immersive that not only did you completely feel that you were really there, the game made you forget when you started playing it, so it would feel like a seamless transition and you would totally lose touch with the real world and you could actually starve to death. Needless to say, it was incredibly addictive, and I think eventually outlawed. It was a while back that I listened to the audiobook and I didn't finish it. From what I gather, the book mostly took place within their fantasies, and Crichton had to try to get them out of it before they withered and died. So yeah, it was kind of dark. Again, it had a similar effect on Rimmer there that it did in this episode.
There it is.
It's only the first instance of a total immersion game in this series, but in seasons 6 and 7 we get to see about 4 more of them. It's kind of a convenient way to move the story off the ship and give the creators a bit more freedom, kind of like the holodeck in Star Trek.
Yep.
Oh, and fun fact, there was a scene they filmed that they ended up not using. See, it needed to take place at the beach, but there weren't really any warm beaches nearby at the time, so it was one of those cases where the actors had to pretend that it was nice and sunny while they were actually freezing. It just did not turn out well.
We're in the Bahamas and shit.
Which I'm actually kind of glad for, since I think it just doesn't suit the cat to wear shorts. Next up is Thanks for the Memory,
knee-high
because
socks
apparently
too,
Rimmer just didn't get enough abuse in this episode. See you then.
See you then. That was good timing there.
Well, I better sign off now.
Oh,
see you all. Bye. How'd you turn this off then?
You were playing postal chess with him, were you?
Chance to lock horns with an intellect of that caliber, I'd be a fool not to.
There we go. Okay, I think I can squeeze one more in. I don't have to stop at exactly 3:30. Just want to give myself plenty of time to make dinner. Better Than Life is probably my second favorite season 2 episode, very closely behind Crichton. Yeah, that makes sense. I'm on the last season of Buffy. It's been a fun rewatch since it's been 20 years since I've really watched it. Yeah, same. I did a rewatch kind of recently too, whenever Comet first started showing it. If my dad understood the internet, he would definitely be in the John Wayne fan club. I already said hi to George. I love how the address on the Scudder's envelope reads Red Dwarf Deep Space in a postcode. Yeah, it's a little weird. Why they're fans of an actor who would have died hundreds of years earlier. I mean, we're fans of people who have died, so why wouldn't they be? This sounds like today I've been watching the new Willow show and the Santa Clauses. Oh, yeah. Rimmer's insults are always the best, period. Yeah, they are. Oh, yeah, Lister thinking his dad had been flushed down the toilet. I vaguely remember that. The future My Little Pony Friendship is Magic remake, rated 18+, still no gore. They're robots now. Ponies can actually swear, and Spike dies at the end. Did they flip Rimmer off American style? Yep. Crichton did that in his first episode, too. I remember that Tony Hawk's had a quiz show for a short while called The Greatest Television Program in the World, probably. That's cute. I have a theory on Rimmer's family. Either Rimmer's father had no children, as his mum being his mum, or Rimmer the only one. Who isn't his father's child and thus is capable of growth beyond this father. Oh, yeah. They kind of touch on that on season 10, don't they? The tragedy of Rimmer, he can only get any action when it's digital. Well, he's digital now too, so kind of makes sense. Jellied eel vindaloo. I visited Ryle in Wales where they filmed the beach scenes on summer school trips as a kid. They were a lot of fun. That's cool. Red Dwarf prevented the metaverse in the Matrix. Oh yeah, it's kind of like the Matrix, isn't it? I recently got some cranberry habanero sauce because holidays, and it's quite nice. That sounds interesting. God, Rimmer ended up in the body of a woman who nearly got pimped out by a couple of criminals in the book. Wow. Better than life, yeah. Dat face. Lovely shot you paused on, yeah. Initially, it just happened, but I decided to keep it there. Thanks for the Memories is my favorite early Red Dwarf episode. Combines my love of sci-fi mystery and Rimmer wump. He only had that one scene, but I loved Gordon. Yeah, that was funny. How you turn this thing off then? Meanwhile, he's the computer. Betting money that's the thumbnail. What is the thumbnail for Thanks for the Memory, out of curiosity? Oh, it's Rimmer making that face when he tries the chili chutney whatever sandwich. Shame we won't get to Queeg. That was the episode where I started watching all those years ago. Oh yeah. Comet is the reason I started watching Buffy too. We think alike, yeah. I also happened to catch all of the Planet of the Apes movies on Comet recently. If you watch Buffy, you realize the show was over in the first season as she died. Oh. Oh, you think the rest is like a dying dream or whatever? That's an interesting theory. There's a soul back there. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong screen. There we go. He's there. And he's gonna be behind my head now. Only just noticed that the Inland Revenue Service has been renamed Outland Revenue because in the future they go off planet. Oh yeah. She got better. My experience of Buffy the Vampire Slayer is Google thinking I'm trying to find that show and searching for Spike for My Little Pony. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, Fluttershy was a vampire, so that fits weirdly enough. Yeah, Rimmer's true parentage is revealed at the end of season 10, and they managed to parody The Empire Strikes Back in the process. I forgot about that. He says, "I'm not your father," and Rimmer's like, "No, it's not true." I forgot all about that. Buffy the Vampire Slayer was a fun movie. Never got into the series, though, but listening to / reading fan comments of the series is entertaining. Series is way better than the movie. The movie was fine, but that show went into some interesting places. I thought the game was over, but unfortunately we needed to get an Inception joke before the film comes out. Oh, you just quoted the thing I just quoted. Given the main amount of My Little Pony I've watched is Dina's reviews, Spike is the best character, period. Spike was adorable. Why are you saying period over and over again? Maybe it's because of that one scene with Kachansky, who was actually Rimmer. When a Slayer dies, the new Slayer / chooses one is activated. Yeah, we know.
Who is that? Tara? What do you want, baby girl? Mama's busy. She's streaming.
I want to watch Buffy and not worry about the creator. Yeah, I had to, like... Well, no one was showing Buffy for a while anyway. Fortunately, by the time they showed it on Comet, I was kind of, like, over that. Red Dwarf helped me get through those awkward teenage years and one of the few shows that our family all universally loved. That's cool. Thus, Buffy was no longer the chosen one. Nah. That's clearly not how it worked. Excuse me, God, I'm yawning so much. Soul is lovable. Got into Buffy through the video games. That's interesting. I played the first game. I seem to recall it being pretty good for what it was. Haven't watched the beginning for a while now, but I have watched the beginning of Red Dwarf. The period punctuation is called a full stop in the UK. Oh yeah, that's true. A woman's period is still not as awkward as have a fantastic period, though. I thought about that right when I said that. Tara may wish to show her butt to the stream. That's right, Chaos bleeds. I remember that now that you mention it. Yeah, I think Sarah Michelle Gellar was in I Know What You Did Last Summer. I think. Yeah, Queeg got me interested, but Backwards more or less sealed the deal for me. That episode was hilarious to me the first time I saw it. That's cool. I want to watch Angel 2, especially for the one where he becomes a Muppet. I love when shows go to weird places like that. Yeah, that was fun. I wish somebody would show... I hope Comet starts showing Angel at some point. I can't watch Bones because I can't think of him as anyone other than Angel. He's totally typecast in my head. No, we usually don't get a banner, unfortunately. Alright, last episode. Shit, it's after 3:30 already. I didn't mean to go this late, but oh well. Actually, let me go preheat the oven. That'll save me a little time. Okay, hopefully the oven will be done preheating by the time I'm finished here. I just turned off my heater. Excuse me. The soul's still back there.
Yep. The crew has found a planet with a breathable atmosphere, so naturally they party on it. Scutters included.
It's nice to get out once in a while, stretch your cables.
I can't understand it. I've had so much to drink, and it hasn't even afflicted me.
And it turns out that they're celebrating the anniversary of Rimmer's death.
Right on, baby.
I'd say that the fact that he's a hologram makes it less morbid,
Drunk
but
Rimmer
if
is
you think
fun.
about it, it's also the anniversary of the death of the entire Red Dwarf crew. Not that there's any mention of that.
Good point. Good point, Pasadena.
Show me the way to go home.
Jaws reference for the win. Also, that shuttlecraft is a blue midget, which has legs that you can't see. A little later...
What time is it?
Saturday.
Lister obviously holds his liquor better than Rimmer.
Best you can do.
There are some numbers next to it, but they could be anything.
Off topic, but check out the California license plates
There
in
we
the
go.
background. The color scheme has since changed to dark blue on a white background, but I'm old enough to remember the garish yellow on blue they used to be.
Yep.
Anyway, not something I would have expected to see in a British TV series. Anyway, Lister introduces Rimmer to his favorite drunk snack.
I want a triple fried egg sandwich with
chili sauce and chutney.
There it is.
What?
Rimmer's reaction to it kills me.
He can't quite decide.
I feel like I'm having a baby.
The trouble is, you've got to eat it before the bread dissolves.
I could never invent a sandwich like this, Lister. You see, all the ingredients are wrong. But put them together, and somehow it works. It becomes right.
Drunk Rimmer is fun.
This sandwich, Lister, is you. You're the only man ever to get his money back from the odor eater people. But people like you.
And surprisingly introspective.
Now me, all the ingredients are right. Result, total smeghead despised by everyone except the ship's parrot. And that's only because we haven't got one.
He can't figure out why everyone hates him, and Lister points out that he obsesses so much over his career that he doesn't make time for any people in his life.
Do you know how many times in my entire life I made love?
And here comes a confession that he's gonna regret later. Even Lister knows it.
You tell me, right, you'll wake up in the morning and you'll have your hangover and you'll feel like death and you'll remember and you'll go, oh! See, it's not worth it, I don't want to know.
Once.
Smeg.
Yvonne Magruder.
And once again, I regret not starting a counter for the mentions of Yvonne Magruder.
Please.
I think that's
12
4.
minutes. Please? And that includes the time it took to eat the pizza. I'd trade everything in. To be loved and to have been loved.
And then Rimmer gained 10,000 fangirls, because he is now officially a whoopee. The next day, Rimmer wakes up, and here come the flashbacks.
There it is.
You called it, Lister. Anyway, Lister wakes up with severe pain in his leg, to find out that his leg has been broken at some point and he's wearing a cast. Not only does Kat have one as well, but other things are off, like a puzzle Lister was working on is suddenly finished and a few pages have been torn out of his diary. Basically, there are 4 days missing from all their memories.
Aliens!
Obviously, what else? Anyway, Lister asks about the black box and it turns out to be missing, but it gives off a signal so they can trace it. It leads them to a moon where it's buried with a headstone. On the headstone is the name of a woman Lister once dated, Lisa Yates. They dig up the black box and play it.
I don't know if anyone will ever find this, but if they do, don't ever play it. Some things are best left buried.
Well, that just guarantees they're going to watch it.
Right.
So they start playing from the point that Rimmer went to lie down, and the rest of the episode fills in that 4-day gap. It turns out that Lister went to the hologram simulation suite and implanted one of his memories about an old relationship into Rimmer's memories. Only good things can come from this. So Rimmer dreams about it and wakes up feeling like it actually happened, and it changes him.
You're in a good mood.
Why not, Lister, when life's so good?
Why is life so good?
You wouldn't understand, Lister.
He's
You've
got
never been
beer
in
all
love.
over the
The
floor.
interesting part, well, aside from all the inconsistencies,
I started to give her some wishy-washy twaddle about not wanting to get tied down.
But you were young. You didn't want to settle down. You wanted to bum around and have a laugh.
But I wasn't like that when I was young, so why did I say those things?
is that he sees the relationship differently than Lister, and Lister eventually realizes what a good thing he had with her and how stupid he was to throw it away.
I was about to pause on, it looks like Lister's bed has a drunk setting. It said drunk on it.
The way she
I don't want
used
to go back.
Oh, the sex, brilliant sex.
Lister, how do you know?
I'm just having a guess.
Sometime later, Rimmer found some letters from Lisa to Lister, and he thinks that she cheated on him.
We spent a night in a hotel in Southport and made love 6 times. According to her letter, you were at the exact same hotel and you made love 6 times too. It's a good job you were there. If I'd been there on my own, I would have been dead within a week.
So Lister has to confess that those memories don't actually belong to Rimmer, and he tells him what he did.
That's why I had my appendix out twice.
Yeah, that sets up a really amusing inconsistency later in the series, where Lister has his appendix out again.
The woman I loved most in the whole world didn't love me. She loved you.
Yikes, poor Rimmer. And it's back to the observation dome to mope again.
Come on, Rimmer, you've experienced love. It made you more confident, more secure.
It didn't happen. I never even met her.
Lister tries to reason with Rimmer that even though the memory wasn't his in the beginning, he has it now and it's part of him.
I don't want to feel like this anymore.
But Rimmer doesn't want it, so Lister agrees to erase the last 4 days from all of their memories and bury the black box. And while Lister and the cat are moving the gravestone, they drop it on their feet, hence why they each ended up wearing a cast later. And of course, Lister ripped some pages out of his diary before finishing the puzzle.
So they're
and
walking
so ends
around
Thanks
on
for the memory.
casts that were only put on a few days
This
ago.
was an interesting episode. I get a kick out of how Lister really had the best of intentions when he altered Rimmer's memory and didn't have the forethought to predict that it would backfire somehow. That's Lister. Sometimes he has ideas where you can see how they'd look good on paper but wouldn't work out in reality. And of course, Rimmer takes another hit here. This is a point in the series where the writers decided that they needed to add something to his character to give him some depth, just so he wasn't completely unlikable. Unfortunately, it backfired a bit because there really are a lot of Rimmer fangirls out there, and it wouldn't surprise me if it started at around this point in the series. This episode does call my attention to something a bit weird. For them to be able to make holograms out of dead crew members, the memories of many crew members have been recorded and are being stored on the ship. That strikes me as one hell of an invasion of privacy.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure a tight lock was kept on that information, but the fact that it exists on the ship at all, it just brings up all kinds of potential problems, none of which really get addressed. It's just kind of normal in this show's universe. Next up is Stasis Leak. See you then.
Do you know how many times in my entire life I made love?
Yes, we all remember this bit. Spin on, spin on, spin on.
That many?
Okay, Stasis Leak is next whenever I stream again. Okay, let me just get caught up with the chat and then I'll wrap up. Backwards was my first episode, and that of a lot of my friends seems to be the intro for a lot of people somehow. Interesting. Which is fitting in a way as it's a new beginning despite it being a very odd story. Yeah, I think my first was Sirens? Yeah, I saw part of Sirens, and then I saw Back to Earth, and that was what got me hooked. No, wait, I saw Sirens and then Back to Reality at some point, and then Back to Earth. It's weird seeing Sarah Michelle as a victim in a horror movie given her role as Buffy. I know, I hate that. It's so frustrating. You keep wanting her to kick the guy's ass. It felt weird watching Bones for a while because Angel is in it. Yeah, that's the main reason I never really got into it. Especially since Angel was canceled so prematurely. Like, I really wanted more of that show. Apparently, Sarah Michelle Gellar's character in I Know What You Did Last Summer is overwhelmingly the most popular. Makes sense. Soul in front of the tree is a perfect image. Oh yeah, it is, isn't it? Yeah, he's framed pretty well there. Crichton put up a banner on the ceiling that said, "Have a happy period," yeah. They don't reference Buffy and Bones, like, at all, which is kind of upsetting. Yeah, that's no fun. Well, season 3 was where the show really began to spread its wings for a lot of fans. Seasons 3 through 5 are the quintessential seasons. I seem to recall that, was it season 3 that the creators were trying to make it a good jumping on point for new viewers? Maybe I'm thinking of a different one. Love the beginning of this episode. It's the first time you see them being truly friendly with each other. That's true. We're gonna need a bigger red dwarf. Oh yeah, the cake being in the shape of a spanner reminds me of when you were playing that short game and you learned that a spanner is the British name for a wrench. Yeah, that was a cat lady. And yeah, I was thinking about, I'm like, so that's why Lister's nickname was Spanners. I had no idea what that meant. That sandwich sounds like the perfect breakfast to me. Before the bread dissolves. Oh, Rimmer, this scene is proof of why you shouldn't get drunk around with Lister. Yeah. Don't know why Holly can make a hologrammatic version of Lister's snack, but no other food. Yeah, I know. The continuity is really bad in this show, especially the first couple seasons. At least as far as how Rimmer operates. When Dina starts naming TV tropes, yep. Hologrammatic abilities seem to vary from season to season. In one season it's visible, another season it's not, and in later seasons Rimmer hasn't eaten anything since dying, yeah. And in fact, I think later on he's saying he wasn't able to taste food, but like, clearly he was there, so... Wasn't there an episode of Star Trek The Next Generation like this? There is, actually, and I made a video where I compared them. That was fun. I also compared Gunmen of the Apocalypse to Fistful of Datas. I just realized this episode is a pre-hangover hangover. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, Special Iron already... Yeah, it was called Clues. Dina actually did an episode comparison for them both. The show is more like Star Trek TNG than I thought. Yeah. I love the way Rimmer dreams about basically being Lister and makes faces like him. I don't think I caught that. It's established in this show that Chris Berry, Rimmer, is a master impersonator, yeah. Ah, the classic mistaken for cheating trope. I think I might become a Rimmer fangirl and I never watched the show. It is weird how you can just casually go into that room and watch Rimmer's dreams. They can be very personal, yeah. The Sixth Day did something like that with memories, but with cloning. But at least they acknowledged what a problematic concept it could be. That's good. Can't wait till you get to Series 3. Yeah, that'll be fun. Oh, Lee's in the chat. Yeah, Lee started in the beginning. That's the thing, because I walked in on him watching it a few times, and that's how I was introduced to it, and I just saw like random episodes. Less than 2 episodes. How many took Lee to get hooked? Sounds about right. Hi, Kanbei. Kanbei? Something like that. I think Series 6 was intended to be a good jumping on point. Yeah, maybe that was the one I'm thinking of. Yeah, Spanner was a reference to his skill with tools and engineering skills, yeah. Well, the attitude to continuity on Red Dwarf is a combination of rule of funny and can't be arsed. Yep. I was trying to say your name. I think Rimmer being dead doesn't see the point in food, while Lister in Rimmer's body does being alive. I don't know. I did read a Red Dwarf fanfic once where we see what happened with alternate Kachansky and how that timeline went. It was pretty interesting. Oh yeah, I know fans have a lot of theories about that. I love how Rimmer realizes he's alive in time slides. And the first thing he does is eat Adolf Hitler's banana crisp sandwich. I forgot that that was what he was eating. I remember him taking a big bite out of a sandwich. Okay, everybody. Thanks for joining me. This was fun. I hope you guys had fun. In the earlier season, Rimmer and Lister switched bot. Yeah, I know. It's because I'm Hitler, isn't it? I love that line. Possibly the biggest continuity fuck up is how the time drive is suddenly able to move in space in spite of them making good comedy about it. Its inability to do in the previous episode. Yeah, that was kind of weird. Oh, oven's done preheating. Okay, everybody, thanks for joining me. I will not be here next weekend because I have a little local convention to go to. I'm just going to go for like one panel. The actors from the original Mortal Kombat game are doing a panel, so that'll be fun. I'm literally just going for that panel, but yeah. I will not be streaming the next weekend, but hopefully I should be back the following weekend. I've also got some vacation time coming up. I never mentioned it on stream, but I got hired on that job where I was a temp, so I get vacation days now, and excuse me. Everybody gets a week off between Christmas and New Year's, so I actually got some time off coming up. Maybe I'll stream a little more than usual to kind of make up for how little I've been streaming the last couple months. I might go have some oatmeal with hot sauce. Oh, that's weird. I've put hot sauce in grits, though. That's pretty good. That's fine, Lee Saunders. I think that's what most people do, really. Thanks, Special Iron. So no more Dina YouTube millionaire. Very generous holiday time for an American job. I know, I can't believe it. I think it's because I work for the school board, and I'm guessing they probably close when the schools close for winter break. So I that's my theory about why that is. But yeah, it's pretty nice. Yeah, I haven't had Christmas vacation since, like, high school, I think. Anyway, thanks for joining me, everybody. P.S. I have sauces that are chili and fruit, so they work. Oh, that's interesting.